Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Family, make sure you liking the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you share it. Make sure you do everything you can to support it. Hit that reaction heart in the corner. Drop a comment. Help me reach my goal. You already know, best way to support the stream, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. If you hit me on one of those three, let me know whether you want to be shouted out or you don't want to be shouted out. Let me know if you want the amount said or not. Let me know whether yeah, just let me know. Whatever you want to do. Want me to read the comment? Let me know. Let me know. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, we about to get started right now. I just saw something. One of the reasons I'm kind of starting a little bit late is because I just saw something, and also I might have to pick up my kids. They might have to come to my house. So I don't know. This might even turn into a special event because I definitely want to cover this. If I don't cover nothing else, I'm going to cover this. But let me give some shout outs real quick. Shout out to Kevin Johnson in the building. Salute. Shout out to McKinsley in the building. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter in the building. Shout out to Madison in the building. Shout out to AKW Beats in the building. Shout out to what else we got in the building? Benny James, thank you for the fire emojis. Shout out to you being in the building. Shout out to Chocolate Lyrics in the building. Let me see who else is in the building. Shout out to Naps in the building. Go subscribe to Naps channel. You talking about the videos you sent me on Saint in the Sinner? I ain't watched them yet, but yeah, I got those. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback. I don't know who this is. I think this is Stanley James. Shout out to you. Not James, excuse me, John. Shout out to AZ. Shout out to Presell in the building. Hey, Presell. Who else? Did I miss somebody? Shout out to everybody in the building. I think I got everybody. That's the Saint in the Sinner, or that's something different. Naps, let me know. Is that the Saint in the Sinner, or that's something different? Let me know. But shout out to everybody in the building. I'm going to get started real quick because this is important. This is not like I seen this and it's like it just made me mad. It just made me mad. I can't even tell you how mad this made me. I can't. Like, I'm tired of seeing stuff like this. I'm gonna show y'all. I think I covered this guy before. Let me see. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me switch this. Share this tab. This guy. Did I uncover him before? I think his name is like what? Bantu TV or something like that. Bantu City or something like that. And I said, like, I felt like he was talking down on Africa and he was promoting a lot of white supremacy. Oh, you said it's different. All right, cool. I go recheck because I only got the one with the Saint and the Sinner from you, but I'll definitely go recheck that. Cool. But yeah, shout out to McKinsley. Bantu City Diary. Yes. This guy. Like you can't make it up. Wait, somehow. I think I see somebody else in the building. The doctor, what's that? Carpi? Am I saying your name right? Is that the Dr. Carpi? I hope I'm saying it right. I can't really see. Is that a O? I can't see. But I think that's the Dr. Copy. Shout out to the Dr. Copy in the building. Copy in the building. Yes. You said he's a grifter? Yes, I kind of figured that. But let's get into this because the name of this video is Black Africans have no history, no historical record of building. Let me see. I can't see the rest of the title. But yeah, it's something about Black people can't build, so we suck and we stupid and we need the white man. That's the gist of it, that which I got. But yes. So it's Dr. Carpi, and your last name is like Carpenter. I hope I'm seeing it right. But yeah, shout out to you, Dr. Carpi. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you liking the video. Make sure you sharing the stream.
Black Africans have no history of building, so they have no history of maintenance. If you can't build, you can't maintain. If you don't know how to create or make a car engine, how can you maintain that engine? If you don't know how to build roads, how can you maintain them? One reason Black Africans have struggled to maintain the colonial infrastructure they inherited is that it was not built by them. During the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, the streets of London were notoriously filthy. The rapidly expanding city had no organized sewer system, and thoroughfares were often clogged with mud, household rubbish, coal soot, butcher's waste, and unmanaged human and animal waste. According to the London Museum, there were open gutters and household waste, along with the contents of chamber pots, were frequently emptied directly into these open ditches and street gutters, which were meant to carry rainwater but often became stagnant. The Guardian reports that thousands of horses, cattle, and sheep were driven through the street to reach market, leaving behind immense amount of manure and urine that turned into thick, black, slippery muck. Similarly, in the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, the streets of Berlin were also very dirty. Like many pre-industrial European cities, Berlin lacked closed sewage systems, paved roads, and running water. Household waste, kitchen scraps, and human excrement were regularly dumped into open street gutters or thrown directly out from the windows. The unsanitary conditions were so severe that a strict Brunnen und Gassenordnung, in German, alley and well ordinance, were enacted to combat the filth. In France, the situation.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it here. First of all, this bozo is regurgitating a bunch of white supremacist talking points, and you know where he got that from, right? White people, because a lot of people who try to learn about, it's like I'm seeing a trend. You got a lot of these people who are like African who try to learn about African history, but they go to the most racist person to learn it, and it's like what's not clicking? The person who's teaching you this is racist. And you notice how he said Black Africa, and he said Black Africa to do what? Exclude the pyramids. Because if you look at a racial map, the funny part is, if you look at one of the original racial maps, they claim every part of Africa that they found high civilization in as actually being white. That's why basically the whole North Africa is white. That's why a lot of Mali is white. That's why the Swahili coast is white, and that's why even later maps they had Zimbabwe as white. Because remember, the ruins in the Zimbabwe, the Great Zimbabwe, they found the ruins. They said that, hey, this is proof that white people used to be here because no black person could have built this. That's why you have white people claiming Zimbabwe was their land. Zimbabwe was rightfully their land of their ancestors. People know that, right? So if that's like me going to Europe and saying, well, ancient Greece isn't European, isn't white European. Rome isn't white European. This and that, because white is only northern Europe. So that's the UK, Germany, France. That's the only real Europe. That's the only real Europe. And what civilizations were there? Nothing. So I guess Europeans don't got no history of building, nothing, of maintaining anything. Can't make this up. This is nonsense. Oh, shout out to Presell for coming through with that information. I did not know he said that. I saw his name, like I saw people making videos to him, but I didn't click on him or nothing like that or read the title. I just saw his picture in it. Oh, he said black people was better off as slaves. That tracks. That tracks for somebody like him. Remember, them dollars is getting low. So, people got to step up the cooning if they want to keep the dough rolling in. It's just that simple. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Was much the same. During the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, Paris streets were notoriously.
That's a fact. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said Northern Africa, a whole North Africa. That includes Somalia, Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan, all those places where you also throughout the connected to the Nile Valley that had pyramids, they count that as all as one and not a part of blackness. But shout out to you for that, Carpenter. It's, in fact, you said your name is Dr. Copy. Yeah, Copy. So yeah, shout out to you.
Grimy, overflowing cesspools, open drains, and horse manure often blocked narrow medieval roads. This rampant squalor combined with dense overcrowding fueled deadly cholera outbreaks in 1832. In 1778, Anna Maria, the mother of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, tragically died in Paris after drinking broth made with water from the Seine, which had been contaminated by sewage from the city's canals. In 1853, a cholera outbreak claimed the lives of more than 10,000 people in London. A year later, another epidemic struck Soho, resulting in 616 deaths in less than a month. At the time, most doctors believed that the disease originated from the foul air. However, one physician, John Snow, suspected otherwise. He traced the cases and discovered that most of the victims had consumed water from the same public pump. The death toll was staggering, even affecting the London Underground. London's overcrowded churchyards overflowed with burials, and graves were often reopened just a few days after interment to accommodate new bodies, which were sometimes covered with lime to mitigate the odor of decay. As a result, the soil itself became saturated with decomposition. During the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, Europe was filthy by modern standards, much like some areas of Africa today. They lacked running water and modern sewage systems, and open gutters were common. Personal hygiene was also poor, similar to conditions currently seen in parts of Africa. It forced them to think and be creative.
No, I know you didn't compare European hygiene to African hygiene, and I guess this is where the video is going. That things were so bad in Europe, but they finally used their big European brains to fix it and build something better. But because Africans also lived in similar conditions and they only had little brains, they never figured out how to fix it. So when the Europeans came and fixed it, for them and gifted it to them and left, they little brains couldn't figure it out. Their little brains just couldn't figure it out how to maintain it because they little brains never figured out how to build it. The funny part also, as you heard, he said they inherited. They didn't inherit anything. See, this is another thing, another lie about colonization. Europeans didn't bring anything for the native people. They didn't bring anything for them. Everything they brought for themselves. In fact, the closer you lived to Europeans, the lower your standard of living was, and the more likely you were going to die. That is true across the board. It was true in India. It was true in Africa. It was true in the Americas. The closest you lived to Europeans, the more likely you were going to die. Close in Asia, everything. In fact, when the Europeans left and people repurposed some of the infrastructure that they built for themselves to make it easier to rape and rob and loot their society, then people started living better. And guess what? No European can claim credit for that. That's like me going to somebody's house, building like a solar panel, but I don't allow you to use it. I don't let you get no energy from it. And on top of that, I use, let's say, for example, there was a waste and a byproduct. I make you live by the part of your house I use for the byproduct. You getting sick, you dying, I'm starving you, everything. I built this for me. You finally raise up, kick me out the house, and then you take the solar panel that was never for you, and you figure out how to repurpose it so that you can get energy you can get energy through the whole house, and you can remove the waste product to somewhere safe. And then I try to say, don't you thank me? No, I don't deserve no credit. No credit. No credit whatsoever. You don't get no credit for trying to rape and rob and loot people, and then people use your evil and figure out how to make the best use of it. No. Talking about they inherited it. They didn't inherit anything. When Europeans were leaving Africa, when colonization was over, they were destroying infrastructure. How much land you can't grow food on no more because Europeans poisoned the land? How many spots where you have water where people was getting water before Europeans ever stepped foot in there, and then they took it over, and then when people went to go take it back, they poisoned the well. They killed the animals. You know how many animals are extinct right now in Africa that the local people, that indigenous Africans used to use as a food source, but they can't use it no more because the Europeans killed them all? Do you have any idea? I remember when I saw the animal, like I think it's called the blue buck. I was like, that's one of the most beautiful animals I ever seen in my life. I'm like, this is AI. I'm like, Dad, they using AI. They finally using AI for something good. Then I found out that was a real animal that Europeans hunted to extinction. I almost cried. Shout out to Romario in the building for setting it off with the 5. Exactly. And when you point that out, people say you just you playing the blame game. Nobody's playing the blame game. Europeans underdeveloped Africa. They sabotage Africa. They set Africa up to fail with this quote unquote decolonization nonsense. They set the countries up to fail. They set them up to fail. Shout out to you for setting it off with the 5. They set them up to fail. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. I know I don't want to really do all this, but I got to do this. I got to do this. Let me see. Can y'all see my screen? This is a blue buck. Look how beautiful this animal look. This don't even look like a real animal. Bro. This thing is so beautiful. It's like somebody created it. They used to live all throughout Africa in the savannah, and Europeans killed them all. They killed them all, bro. They did to the blue buck what they tried to do to the buffalo, bro. Like the meat eating gotta stop. Shout out to Kadan in the building for coming through with the Canadian 5. Oh yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. You know, I meant to say that too. All these places where Europeans claim that there was no civilization at, they destroyed it. Like they'll point to some place like in Nigeria and be like, "Oh, there was no civilization there," but they destroyed it. They'll point to places in Ghana, but they destroyed it. Remember, what was the royal palace in Ghana? What was it called? I think it was called like a bomb or something like that, where they had one of the biggest libraries in the world. They had books in there that the Europeans said they didn't even recognize the language, and they burnt it all down. They burnt it down. They came and destroyed stuff and then claimed you never had nothing. Same thing they do in America. How many black towns, how many black businesses, how many black things were destroyed by Europeans and who claimed that black people never built nothing, black people never created nothing, black people never established nothing. Same game, same game. Shout out to you for coming through with the 5. Family, make sure y'all shouting out the people supporting the stream. Make sure y'all shouting out the people supporting the stream. No, I said I thought it was like when you said how is it a good use of AI? Because it's like maybe it's like a fantasy show or a cartoon or something like that. Like it's just cool. Like all right, it's who wants to make an animal? That's why I said it's like I'm like, all right, that could be a good use of AI. It's better than people using AI to make porn and stuff like that of celebrities and regular people, and making it seem like these people did all kind of acts that they didn't do. I'd rather people use AI to make fake animals. Shout out to Madison for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns, family. Make sure y'all shouting out the people coming through. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. Exactly, doctor. Or racist slop. Like this dude was doing. Like look how he used AI. Like this is ridiculous. But yeah, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going.
If you don't have something, how can you maintain it? If you don't have a culture of innovation, how can you be creative? Africa had already transitioned out of the Stone Age for centuries, if not thousands of years, before the first Europeans arrived. Yes, that's a fact. Southern Africa lagged behind West Africa, but the Bantu migration southward brought ironworking technology, which accelerated Southern Africa's advancement from the Stone Age. Conversely, North Africa was more developed than Sub-Saharan Africa. But overall, Africa transitioned directly from the Stone Age to the Iron Age, skipping the traditional Bronze Age. Many people, especially
skipping the traditional Bronze Age. Come on, bro. I don't know what you're trying to say here. Like, my God. Because again, what you're trying to make the point right now that Africans is skipped the industrial, because I think that's the point he's gonna make. Africans skipped the industrial age or something like that, and they just went straight into modernity or whatever the case you're gonna bring up, and that's why they can't maintain anything because they skipped it. I hope that's not the point you're making. I hope that's not. Matter of fact, I know that's the point you're gonna make. I know that's the point. Shout out to the hood mistress in the building. Yes, most of the artificial lakes in America have a black town underneath them. A lot of them do. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Especially those who follow my channel are likely familiar with the Benin bronzes, which were taken by colonial powers and are now displayed in museums across Europe. These remarkable artifacts were crafted between the 13th and 19th centuries. People from the Stone Age could not have produced such mesmerizing art, which continues to astonish Western audiences. The core issue for Africa today is that it has not yet reached the level of cognitive development experienced in the West. In the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries as well, in the USA, the streets of New York, Boston, Philadelphia, and other urban areas in North America were extremely dirty. Waste disposal was.
Yes, again, this is nonsense. Shout out to McKinsley for coming through with the Canadian too. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Yes, they did do that to the Aztecs, and they did it to the Inca too. Like to this day, because the Inca writing system, they use knots, because remember, they lived up in the mountains, so they wanted to do something that was light and you could carry around. And writing with strings and knots was the easiest way to do it. Yeah, we can't read that. They destroyed it. They destroyed it.
Poorly organized, and as a result, residents littered everywhere. Household waste was often dumped directly onto the street and into nearby alleys, a situation that can be observed in some parts of Africa today. At that time, officials did not understand germ theory. They believed that foul odors and decaying refuse were the main causes of disease. Since waste disposal was largely an individual responsibility, as in many regions of Nigeria and parts of sub Saharan Africa, stagnant sewage and rotten debris often polluted the air, contributing to outbreaks of diseases such as yellow fever. Many African countries still face similar challenges today. The infrastructure that the people of Burkina Faso are currently building with their own hands will give them an advantage. When you construct something, you come to understand its intricacies, making maintenance much more easier. How could anyone expect Africans to maintain the trains left behind by colonial powers when they lacked the tools and knowledge even to make a simple boat? How can you expect them to sustain governance, civic responsibility, salaries, and pensions, and even to continue managing the European style nations left to them when much of their population's intellect is rooted in tribal affiliations and intertribal rivalry? If you were to present a computer to the pygmies in the jungles of Central Africa or to any tribal people in the Amazon, they would likely be fascinated by it. They might spend all their time playing with it until the batteries run out. However, they would not know how to recharge or maintain it. Eventually, they might repurpose it as a hunting tool, such as a dagger or spear.
What is this guy even going on about? Like this is like I said, like being an anti-black grifter gotta be the easiest grift in ever. All you gotta do is just repeat anything you heard from a white person. That's it. And you're gonna blow up, because now white people could use you and say, see, it's not racist to say that. Or, oh, I didn't learn this from racist white people. I learned this from Bantu City Diary. That's who taught me. It's the same thing they do with Thomas Sowell. Like, you can't make this up. You can't make this up at all. Oh, let me help you out and delete you real quick. We ain't got time to be playing right now. You are part of the problem too, FBA Bozo. It's pissing me off too. Like I like, what is the point of this video? Like, what you trying to say? Africans are stupid. They can't maintain. They can't create anything. Blah 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 blah. Like, come on. What's the point of this? Like, what was the point of this? But yeah, let's keep it going.
Conversely, if those same people had invented or built that computer themselves, they would understand the need for charging and maintenance. The differences between Europeans and.
What are you saying? Like, you saying, oh, if those people had built it themselves, they would understand it. Duh. But that goes for everything. People don't understand. If you introduce somebody to something new, they're not going to understand it until you tell them. Tell them about it. And you teach them how it goes. Like, You do know inoculations, like vaccines came from Africa to your to America. Africans taught them about vaccines, what we would call a vaccine, about how you would use the dead skin from somebody who survived the virus and rub it on somebody who never had it. A little cut, take a little, make a little cut, rub the dead skin on it, and that would help them build an immunity to it. That was created in Africa. That was introduced to Europeans. Africans had to explain that to them in America, how to do that and how it works. What are you saying? Like what are we saying here? Like, what is the point of this? Like, just the meat rod Europe, and now you meat rod in Asia? Did the Asians know how to do any of this before Europeans showed them how? That's another thing too. You can't compare Africa to Asia. That's another thing I know y'all bozos like to do, where you try to make it seem like colonialism was just one thing and and everybody got it the same. Not true. Because one, the Japanese were never colonized. They actually got all their stuff through trade. That way you were supposed to do it. If you really wanted to help build somebody, or whatever the case may be, you get things through trade. That's how human beings have always learned things and got things, through trade. Nobody had to enslave nobody. Nobody had to colonize nobody. Nobody had to steal nobody's land. If you really want to help somebody, or you really want to be a friend or an honest broker and deal with people as equal, you do trade. Shout out to Benevolent in the building. Also, shout out to RBG for the win in the building. Yes, trade. That's it. Trade. That's all you got to do. Man. Like that's all you got to do. You can't make this up. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter in the building. Thank you for coming through with the 199. Family, make sure y'all shouting out everybody who's supporting this stream, helping me get closer to my goal. No, I didn't hear about it. What's the new PSYOP? Let me know. Let me know. What's the new PSYOP?
Africans largely arise from environmental factors. In the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, Europe and America faced filthy conditions, but their structures were built to withstand the cold climate. People were compelled to build sturdy shelters out of necessity. If they didn't, they'd freeze. In contrast, Africans lived in hot climates where it was not necessary to build strong buildings. Their surroundings were rich with animals, forests, sunlight, streams, rivers, rainfall, and abundant natural resources. Consequently,
what does that have to do with? Because what does that have to do with somebody maintaining the country? What does that have to do with people not being smart enough to do this or do that? Like, I'm hearing you talk, but you're not making a compelling point. You're not making a compelling point. Okay, Africans lived in a hot climate, Europeans lived in a cold climate. What that got to do with building infrastructure to get rid of waste? Because again, your whole premise was European cities were filthy, and then one day Europeans decided to use their big brain to make them clean. Cool. What does that have to do with living in a filthy environment? Got to do with hot or cold? What does that have to do with anything? But yeah, let's keep it going.
the focus in many African society was on family life, gathering with others, and storytelling. This emphasis.
All right, and what does that have to do with making an environment being filthy or not? Like, again, the stuff you saying right now have no connection to the stuff you said before. Like, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man.
On social cohesion, having wives and children, living in extended families, and engaging in community activities shapes African history across the continent, whether in Kenya, Angola, Botswana, or Senegal. As a result, our evolutionary paths diverged. The African climate and natural environment did not spur populations to innovate and explore until
now it didn't. Now you saying that the hot climate didn't spur people to innovate and explore. Like, you can't make this up, bro. Like, this is literally racism 101. That somehow I don't even know what to say. Like, this is weird. Like, oh, they lived in cold climates, which forced them to innovate. If cold climates forced them to innovate so much, they would have never even been living in filth for centuries. Because where was all this innovation for the centuries that they lived in filth? Where is it? For all the centuries they lived in filth, where was all the innovation then? It sounded like Africans was the smart ones all along, because we never lived in filth. Nobody came to Africa and said, "Oh man, look at all this filth. Can't even breathe." They got people living with the dog, people living with the pigs. There's you think that's mud on the floor? No, that's just animal manure. So thick that it looked like mud. If they were so smart and so much with innovation, it wouldn't even happen. That wouldn't even happen like that. But yeah, continue.
The arrival of Europeans. This lack of preparation made it easier for Europeans to conquer African lands, as we had spent generations focused on storytelling, family, and community, rather than developing defensive strategies or arms. In 1400, the population of Portugal was estimated at just under 1 million. Yet the Portuguese managed to conquer present-day Angola, which had a population of nearly 2 million, as well as many other African territories with even larger populations.
One, these people never actually formally, quote unquote, conquered these areas. They just claimed control over them. They never actually conquered them. It wasn't until much later that these areas got conquered. And that's when weaponry was better. And on top of that, they did it with African armies. See, this is another mythology. People keep talking about colonization like a handful of Europeans just went somewhere and took it over. No, the people who did all the fighting, the majority of the fighting, were local people who joined forces with the Europeans. And then the Europeans stabbed them in the back. That's it. And replaced them with basically another group. That's all that happens. That's why decolonization happens so easy and so swift. Because who's going to fight? The real reason the British had to leave India, because the people maintaining control of India for the British were mainly Indians. So what happens when the Indians don't want to fight for you no more? And the list goes on. Like, technology could only make up that gap with so much. Yeah, like, ridiculous.
The reason is that African societies often did not recognize the need to create weapons or form armies for defense. Instead, they were preoccupied with subjugating weaker tribes within their communities. This discussion highlights a significant contrast. Africans often do not maintain or care for things they did not create or do not know how to build. For instance, while African homes may be kept clean, like their interior, clean and tidy, the areas immediately outside often show signs of litter and neglect, similar to how Europeans managed their spaces in.
No, it's not similar to how Europeans managed their spaces, because European spaces were filthy inside and outside. Only the super rich had somewhat clean insides, but otherwise than that, it was filthy inside and outside. Or two, that's the government's fault. Like, trash collection for a city, that's the government's fault. That ain't got nothing to do with the people. And again, a lot of these terrible African governments were propped up and put in place by Europeans. Let's come on now. A bunch of when Africa was decolonizing, all those revolutionary leaders who had their head on right, who wanted to do the right thing and was doing the right thing, Europeans helped take all of them out and replace them with a bunch of bozo dictators who wrecked everything and let the Europeans still steal all the resources. Like, that got to come into play. That got to come into play. Shout out to the Lord of Slaughter. Yeah, I got the link. I got the link. Thank you for sending it. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it later. I'm gonna definitely check that out. But yeah, no discussion of that. No discussion of that. Shout out to the Paula Waller in the building. Shout out to love for MGL. Love for MGL in the building. Yes, facts. No discussion of none of that when people talk about the condition. And you putting the onus on the people, too, who don't have the power to change that. How? Again, that's the government's job. They pay taxes for a reason. The government supposed to do that. And a lot of these incompetent governments are there and being propped up by Europeans. Yes, I did. That's what I said. That's what I said. Like I said, the rich were less filthy. I didn't say they wasn't filthy. I said he was less filthy than everybody else, but it was filthy inside and out.
Earlier centuries. Until Africans begin to build and innovate for themselves, they may continue to struggle to maintain the structures and systems that Europeans established, as they often lack the necessary knowledge, a culture of innovation, a spirit of sacrifice, and a sense of discipline required for such endeavors. In 1975, Nigerians conceived the idea of establishing a neutral new capital city, as their tribal dominated mindset hindered their ability to function as a cohesive nation.
And whose fault is that? Who fostered the tribalism? That was the British a policy of divide and rule, where you find differences in people, real or imagined. You highlight that and you keep pushing it, and you make these boundaries hard and fixed, and then you play the people off against each other. That's a British tactic. Like, you making it seem like that just was how it was in Africa. It wasn't. Same thing with the Houthis and the Tutsi. That wasn't like no hard. Those weren't like ethnic groups. A Houthi could become a Tutsi. It was was it the Dutch or the Belgians? The Dutch or the Belgians, one of them, who made that a real thing. Who made that a real thing? Who laid that down? You said no Africans are tribal. Again, that tribal that you're talking about, that tribalism, that didn't exist pre-European. It didn't exist. Pre-European, it didn't exist. Europeans forced it, forced it that those identities like that for the purpose of divide and rule. That's it. Divide the people and you can rule over them. Only let certain tribes engage in certain activities so they can never be independent. Because if we got 5 tribes and we only let people from this tribe become doctors, people from this tribe become administrators for the government, this tribe to do business, this tribe to be police and military, and this tribe to be entertainers, nobody could actually be independent. You basically killed independence in these groups. Because now the only way it works is if they all together. But you made everybody hate everybody. So nobody wants to work together. Because you create a hierarchy saying this group is better than that group. This group can do things like that group. And the only reason they all work together is because you said so. But what happens when you remove yourself? You get civil war. You get people can't build a society with cohesion. I know what a tribe is. Tribalism and a tribe is 2 different things. You can have a tribe without having tribalism. Just like you can have a nation without having nationalism. And nationalism, I'm using it, the negative version of nationalism. When I say nationalism, yes, you can have one. You don't have to have that other part. Like like a lot of these tribal identities wasn't even hard and fixed before Europeans. The Igbo identity wasn't hard and fixed before the English. In fact, that's why you even have conversations today about who's really an Igbo, because they got like what 13 different sub tribes of Igbos, and they don't even agree on which ones is actually even Igbos or not. Yeah, that was Europeans who did that for the purpose of rulership.
They selected a location in the center of the country and named it Abuja. The entire process from designing to construction was outsourced to foreign companies. Cities like Washington, D.C. and Brasilia in Brazil inspired the design. The decision to emulate other countries and hire foreign experts stemmed from a lack of experience in building a city. We have never built a modern city, ever. However, there was little consideration.
Like, this doesn't even make any sense. Like, it just doesn't. Let's say, for example, what you said is true. You got to start somewhere. For example, who built the first train? The British did, which means everybody else who has a train around the world had to learn how to build a train from them. We don't knock people in France saying, aha, y'all got a train, but y'all had to learn how to build the train from the British. Who cares? Who cares? Like, the Industrial Revolution started in Britain. Everybody who wanted to participate and industrialize had to learn industrialization from the British. And then they went from there. So what? Like, that's not a knock. That's not a, like, you making it seem like, oh, like they doing bad. Like, this is something wrong. If they never built anything modern, like you said, it only makes sense to hire foreigners to help them, show them how to do it so they can do it on their own. Isn't that what the Japanese did? The Japanese sent fact-finding missions all over the world. The Japanese invited experts from all over the world to come and build modern infrastructure and show them how to maintain it. So why is it a problem when the Africans is doing it? You were celebrating the Japanese. You just was celebrating the Japanese. But now Africans is doing it. Now it's a problem. Did the Japanese build their train station? No. Their railroad system was built by the British. And the British was maintaining it. And then the British had to show them how to. And then guess what? They learned how to do it. And then they started innovating. And then we get to the point where the Japanese invented the bullet train. The first bullet train is from where? Japan. They invented it. And they took it to another level and invented the maglev. The Japanese have invented two different types of trains. But that came from initially learning about the train from the British. You got to start somewhere. I don't even know how this is even like you're using this as a knock on the people. That should have been something that was celebrated.
For the long-term management of this newly constructed city, which was designed by a Japanese architect and built by Europeans. Once completed, Abuja was handed back to Nigerians, much like how European powers transferred control over most African countries to their local populations. Today, Abuja faces.
They didn't transfer no control. That's again another European lies. Like, somehow they just decided that colonization didn't make any sense, and they just said, "Here you go. We built all this nice stuff for you. Here you go. Enjoy." And they just left.
The same challenges as many other Nigerian and African cities, including litter, public urination, blocked sewers, disorganized traffic, and deteriorating infrastructure. Africans must begin to build and innovate. When people actively engage in creating their environment, they are more likely to implement maintenance and upkeep measures. In countries like in Europe, North America, Japan, and South Korea, when equipment, vehicles, or electronic devices malfunction, they are typically replaced. The malfunction part is replaced rather than repaired. This approach.
That only happens when you have good governments. Remember, in America, our infrastructure got a rank of C, or I mean D. You know why? Because the government is not doing their job and maintaining it. Is you making it seem like Africans don't know how to pick up trash? Like, oh, they don't know how to maintain a city. Look, it's trash everywhere. So a government don't know about. You think African governments don't know about picking up trash, or they just corrupt and they're not doing it? Just like America, you think when that bridge fell, you think people didn't know that bridge was falling down? Yes. Why they didn't fix it before it fell? Because of corruption, because of incompetence, because of having a terrible government. That's why. This ain't got nothing to do with, oh, they can't do it because they didn't create it. That's why they can't do it. It's not being done because the government is corrupt. Because again, the same way the government hired people to build it, they could have hired people to run it. They could have hired people to teach them how to run it. They could have just figured it out themselves through trial and error. They don't want to. They don't want to. It's just that simple. Let's take an example in America. Some places got trains, some places don't. Why? Because the other places didn't want the trains. The government didn't want to. The government is not doing their job. I'm from Brooklyn. I grew up in that going to that pool in Red Hook. I think it was Red Hook. And you remember when you go to that pool, they had like a whole canal that was like green with like toxic sludge in there. Why was that like that? Because people did the government in New York City didn't have any understanding of, oh, we didn't build it, so we don't know how to maintain it, or they just left it. They didn't care. It was just bad governance. They cleaned it up now, but again, it was bad governance. That's all it was. It's not none of this pseudo, oh, the Africans can't comprehend, the African mind can't comprehend picking up trash. Like, come on now. This is ridiculous. How long we even been on this? We've been on this for a good minute. This pissed me off.
Stems from an understanding that superficial fixes can be hazardous and may lead to further issues. This reflects a mindset rooted in innovation and construction. In many parts of Black Africa, however, there is a tendency to patch and force flawed items to continue functioning, which can ultimately lead to their complete failure. This behavior often arises from a lack of familiarity with the mechanism of this product, as they were not designed or manufactured locally. When China struggled to build infrastructure, it faced significant maintenance issues. The same was true for Korea and Japan. However, Europe's situation was different because it was the birthplace of many of these advancements. The Europeans are credited with initiating the Industrial Revolution, which marked the first phase of human development that has shaped our current reality. As Burkina Faso constructs its 332-kilometer 8-lane motorway system, it will effectively maintain it thanks to its developed internal maintenance capacity. The builders will have a clear understanding of.
That's not true. I'm pretty sure the brother is going to maintain it, but that's not true. Just because you built it doesn't mean, all right, you're going to do maintenance. That's not true at all. Again, everything in America was built by Americans. Things are falling apart. Our infrastructure is falling apart because why? People weren't maintaining it. Just because you built something doesn't mean you're going to maintain it. And just because you didn't build it doesn't mean you're not going to maintain it. Just because you built it doesn't mean you're going to maintain it. And just because you quote unquote didn't build it doesn't mean you're not going to maintain it. I didn't hear about that. I'm gonna look into that. But that tracks. That sound right. That Tariq would use the Hidden History Comedy Center to be a voting booth. That sound right. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback for coming through with the 5. Much appreciated. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. A pimp named Slickback. Like, why? Like again, you making it seem like Africans just not doing it because they just incompetent or they didn't build it. No, they not doing it because the government is corrupt. The same reason why they don't do it in America. Governments is corrupt. That's it. That's it. But yeah, let's keep this going. Hopefully we can finish this up. Exactly, Mike. Hidden Mystery Comedy Club. That's exactly what that is. Shout out to you for that. Let's keep this going.
The required maintenance and the specific actions needed to keep the road functional. Africa has a long history of living in harmony with nature without external pressures. As the continent embraces industrialization, it has the potential to catch up in the next century. Europeans played a significant role in bringing civilizations to Africa. However, they left too soon. If they'd stayed for another century, Africa might have fared better.
So the Europeans brought civilization to Africa, and the problem is that they left too soon. Not the slavery, not the rape, not the robbery, not the looting of resources, not the destruction of infrastructure that was built by the Africans, not the destruction of African cities, not the creation of tribalism, not none of that. That's not the problem. The problem is that they left too soon. They left too soon. The problem is not neo-colonization. The problem is that the first colonization ended too soon by a century. You just heard what this bozo just said? A century. Black people will be doing better right now if we just had another century of colonization. The Europeans left too soon. The Europeans who set Africa up for failure left too soon. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Oh, shout out to Flavor Genuine in the building. Yes, that's exactly what Tariq is doing. Taking advantage of young black people with this ideology. Uneducated black people and young black people. That's the whole point of the PSYOP. That's how you got to make it work. If you don't do that, then it don't work. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Countries in Africa where Europeans stayed longer tend to outperform those where they did not. Let me tell you a story. The Dangote refinery in Nigeria is the largest in Africa and the largest single train refinery in the world, costing over $20 billion. It was constructed by the Chinese state-owned company, China National Chemical Engineering, CNCEC. If the Chinese withdraw, maintenance may become a challenge because the Nigerians did not build it themselves. They would rely on the Chinese for ongoing maintenance because they know what to put in there. In contrast, the US interstate road network, shopping malls, trains, and much of the country's infrastructure were built by Americans themselves. This has fostered an internal capacity for maintenance, enabling them to carry out necessary upkeep effectively. The same applies to most European infrastructure. Abuja is 35 years old, but it appears older and more chaotic than many European and North American cities that are hundreds of years old. If you do not build, you will have difficulty maintaining. If you think we're wrong, if you think there was anything I missed, please leave them in the comment section below. And also,
I won't be leaving no comment, but you definitely are wrong. You are definitely wrong. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback for doubling up. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. Let me get to your comment.
so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
No. He's Exactly. Exactly. That's what I was about to say too. A lot of our stuff in New York right now, because I'm in New York, a lot of our stuff is being built by European architects and engineering firms and stuff like that. A lot of them are the ones doing it. Like these new skyscrapers, skyscrapers. Those wasn't American firms doing that. Like you can't make this up, bro. You cannot make this up. This is disgusting, man. This is disgusting. This was hard to watch. Hard to watch. But yeah, family, we got to go on to something else. We have to go on to something else. Like, I don't even know where else to go from there. I don't even know where else. What else should we do? I don't even know what else. Matter of fact, shout out to Ogo. Ogo, you in the building? Ogo, you in the building? Is he in the building? I don't think he in the building. Let me see something. But anyway, let's move on to this. Ogo sent me $3.50 on the Cash App. Shout out to Ogo for that. He told me Professor Black Truth got 2 videos attacking black immigrants. I don't know which one he wants me to talk about, or which one he was talking about in particular, because he got like 4 videos doing that. But I think we're gonna go to the Somali one. I want to see what's going on with this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. Talk about is nothing sacred. First, Kamala Harris decided she was going to jump on the Edmund Pettus Bridge March and the FBA history behind it in order to talk about Palestinians and to make them the focus of that day. And now we've got Somalians, Hispanics, and others who did the exact same thing this year.
Isn't it? Is this a re-upload or something? Because this thing with the Somalians march down here, this is like old. Well, I guess he's finally talking about it. But nobody's stealing no FBA history. There is no FBA history to steal. FBA didn't do anything. FBA didn't do anything. That's like somebody who's a MAGA Republican talking about you need to thank us because of the radical Republicans and them ending slavery. No, we don't. You're not the same. You're actually repping the side of their enemies. We're not paying you any mind. Like ridiculous. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to I can't even see the name. T Major? That's not Major. But shout out to you, bro, for sending the $9.99. Much appreciated. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good information to know. Okay. That tracks. That tracks. Yeah, let's get back to this. That tracks. Thank you again for the $9.99. Everybody, make sure y'all saluting the people supporting this stream. Just got me one step closer to my goal. Much appreciated.
Back in May of this year, you had the commemoration of Bloody Sunday, marking the march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, the one that resulted in white supremacist police, as if there's any other kind, who assaulted the demonstrators. Now remember, after that incident, the civil rights activists made it a point to not just complete that march, but to repeat it every single year on that day. Now, that is something that I can actually support and get behind, because I like the idea of taking this event and rubbing...
Wait, time out. That's another thing. Why y'all was attacking the civil rights movement? The whole new black media, y'all said when they walked across that bridge, that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. That's dumb. That didn't do anything for black people. All they did was get beat up by white people. They teaching black people to be passive and let white people beat on them, stomp on them, do whatever they want to do to them. That's what y'all said. That's what y'all said. Now you like it. Now you like it.
those white supremacist faces in it every single year, the white supremacists need to be humiliated and demoralized on a regular basis. And that's what reenacting the Edmund Pettus Bridge March does.
So now that's a humiliation. Remember, y'all said that that was actually a humiliation to black people, because what are we commemorating? We walked across the bridge and we got beat up to do what? To integrate into a burning house? That's what y'all said. Now this is somehow a humiliation for the white people because y'all reacting when y'all got beat up by them. According to y'all logic, like again, how is this like hurting white supremacy? You react in the time y'all got beat up by white supremacy and y'all integrated into white supremacy, the burning house of white supremacy, and now you lost everything. Make it make sense. You can't attack the civil rights movement and then try to big up certain parts of the civil rights movement that you used to attack, by the way. But yeah, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going.
Humiliates them. I can get behind that. Unfortunately, the demonstrators also allowed the Democrats to participate in this, even though you had a number of Democrats who were supporting segregation and all the rest of it hard as hell back in the day. And the event has hence been bastardized into nothing more than a cheap photo op for the DNC and a chance for the Democrats to promote and magnify the importance of literally every non-Black constituency imaginable and to make the day all about them, even though that march had nothing to do with these other groups. The people who marched on the Edmund Pettus Bridge and were violently assaulted for doing so, they were doing it for the rights and empowerment of Black Americans. You ain't got to like to hear that, but that's a fact.
No, it wasn't a fact. Matter of fact, it was a fact, but not the way you think it is. And what they did resulted in the rights for everyone. But that's another topic for another day. But we're going to let you keep talking.
They weren't out there for everybody under the sun. They weren't out there for immigration. They weren't out there for
So if they wasn't out there for immigration, then why do y'all keep saying that the civil rights movement is the reason why immigrants could come into this country and they should thank y'all? Let's say that again. Y'all always say that immigrants got to thank FBA because FBA did the civil rights movement to let them in and told the government they got to let immigrants of color in, especially Black immigrants. Y'all said that. Now y'all didn't march for immigration. Y'all say that y'all the reason every group got rights because y'all put in work during the civil rights movement. And y'all did that on purpose because y'all love everybody. Now you saying that didn't happen. That Black people was just out there for themselves. They didn't care about nobody else. Which one is it? Did you love everybody and you got out there and you put that work in because you wanted to get everybody rights, but now you're mad because everybody turned on you? Or y'all never was trying to get nobody else nothing. Y'all was just in it for yourself. Which one is it? Inquiring minds want to know. Shout out to Romario for coming through with a 5. Make sure y'all shouting out Romario, man. He just doubled up with another 5. Exactly. You teaching. 14th Amendment on the line. Trump right now, I'm siding with Ed Blum to try to make reparations illegal forever at every level. But they talking about Black immigrants marching across a bridge. Doing something that they themselves was attacking and said it was worthless. You can't make this up. And you must know it's a slow day or something like that, or he got to run up a bag because he talking about Somalis. This thing happened like 4 months ago. Why are you talking about it now? Because you trying to run up a bag? Because I think Professor Black Truth wasn't posting no videos for I think he went on vacation. Like he said, he went on hiatus. So now he got to post a bunch of he got to post nonstop to try to make up that bag. All that money he missed out on, yeah, he got to make that up. So he got to go hard with the posting. Can't make this up. But shout out to you again for coming through with the 5. Make sure y'all saluting everybody who coming through supporting the stream. One step closer to the goal. We almost halfway there.
LGBT anything. They weren't out there for abortion or any of the Democrats' pet issues. And yet, the Democrats today, they make it a point that every time that they're allowed to participate in this commemoration march, the first thing they do is to talk about everybody else. They make it all about everyone except for Black people. And this is no accident. There's been a political agenda and plan by the Democrats in place that they were going to be subverting and ultimately replacing foundational Black Americans with some other constituency. That hasn't panned out because their attempts to appeal to the right of center white voters hasn't exactly worked. And their attempts to try to cobble together some Frankenstein monster of a constituency from all these other groups hasn't panned out either. But they've made it clear that's what they want to do. And it's ultimately about trying to make sure that our demands are drowned out and they hope eliminated. And that's why there's been this ongoing effort to hijack the milestones of foundational Black American protests and to graft every other group and interest on top of it. The video you've been watching was posted by a Somalian tether named Jamal Osman. He's a member of the Minneapolis City Council, and not surprisingly, he's done less than nothing for foundational Black Americans.
Look at that. Calling people a tether. Calling people a tether. And you saying the Democrats co-opted it? Why FBA so weak to let the Democrats come and take their stuff over? Why FBA ain't stand on business and stop the Democrats from just co-opting their stuff? Why? And what you talking about, the Democrats trying to get a new constituency, that's basically a self-fulfilling prophecy. You guys said the Democrats don't want us, and then you told people not to support the Democrats. So if people don't support the Democrats, they can't just win with us. So they got to go out and get other people, right? So you created your own hell. The hell you crying about, you created. Shout out to Tina in the building. Shout out to Tina in the building. Yeah, he does. He sounds like Jason Black. And they might be the same person. We don't know. Who knows? But we just know he's a bozo. Shout out to Future Free. Yes, FBA's Black MAGA. They might even be worse than just quote unquote Black MAGA. They just might just be MAGA. That's it. Because they think they're white. At least Black MAGA recognize that they still black. Oh, shout out to Tina coming through with 30 gems. Much appreciated. I don't know if you noticed, Tina, you wasn't here in the building yesterday, but they let me see the gifts now. So family, when you see gifts, I can see it. I can see it now. So yes. Thank you for the flowers. Much appreciated. Let's keep it going.
But here he is trying to hijack our history and our legacy to try to get some of the heat off of himself and his friends running those scam so-called daycare centers. And
one, tether is a slur. Two, that scam daycare thingy was started by a white woman, and she was prosecuted under Joe Biden. Y'all making it seem like Trump found some big super duper scam that all the Somalis are doing. That's a lie. That was a scam that a bunch of white people and some Somalis were running, and they got arrested under the Biden administration. But you left that fact out because, again, you're MAGA. But let's keep it going.
Minneapolis. This is all about him trying to protect and promote his own interest at the expense of ours. And he has the nerve to claim that this is honoring the civil rights legacy. This man was born in Somalia. His folks weren't even here until a few years ago. He's trying to graft himself onto a movement that his people, by the way, would spit on and have done so for generations here. Immigrants.
That's a lie. That's a lie. There ain't no civil rights movement without Black immigrants. That's a fact. I challenge anybody on that. Explain to me how there was be a civil rights movement without Black immigrants. You can't. Shout out to Tina for coming through with 250 gems this time with the Laughing Disco. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all saluting Tina, man, and saluting everybody who coming through supporting. Much appreciated. Thank you for helping me reach my goals. And thank you for all the support. And family, you can support too. It's not just money. Support with a comment. Support with the fire emoji. Support with hitting that reaction heart. Support with a like. All support count. Remember, I'm not in the algorithm because I got a strike on my channel because of these FBA bozos. The only way to force me into the algorithm is with engagement. Help me get this message out.
Carrying the legacy of the civil rights movement, you had these immigrant groups like these Hispanic organizations who were not at all supporting the civil rights movement. They were still trying to get white America to give them their status as white.
What does those Hispanic groups got to do with Black immigrants? You see how he mixing and matching stuff? You might as well have just put up a white immigrant if you're going to do that. Mash the gas. If you want to attack Black immigrants by just using, now you're using a Mexican immigrant, you might as well have used an Irish immigrant. Hey, just mash the gas. Mash the gas.
That's what they were doing. And as for black immigrants, they made it a point to say that racism doesn't exist. Remember that? They were the main ones who said that because they got a job or they got some government benefits program, that proved that America's not racist. That's what the African and Caribbean immigrants were doing. That's what people like this Osmonds folks were doing.
That's a lie. Because again, if that was the case, there would be no civil rights movement. There is no civil rights movement. Matter of fact, there are no civil rights victories. There's no civil rights movement. None of that without black immigrants. Who got the most civil rights victories in court? Constance Baker Motley. Who financed and actually helped create the concept of the civil rights movement, where you got Martin Luther King coming through the South marching? Who made that possible? Who helped get the eyes on them? Who helped do all that? Harry Belafonte, Cindy Poitier. The list goes on. The list goes on. Oh, shout out to T-Mac. I think that's the name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna, because I can't really see. I'm gonna make sure I look at your name and I get a chance so I can say it properly. Shout out to you for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. You helped me get halfway to my goal. Thank you for the double up. Exactly. The business, the black no authority, professor, student white lies. They pretty much all the same people. All the same people. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Morons like Myron Gaines said that they leapfrogged over us in one generation. Not true, but that's the way that they choose to tell the story. So to them, they're showing that that's the proof, as they see it, that black deprivation is simply black America's fault. What they're really doing is they're auditioning for a comfortable place under white supremacy, and now they're finding out there's no such thing. The Somalians weren't the only ones out there, though. They had Latino immigrants and others out there with them. Now, even though this political usurpation of our history happened in March, a couple of months later, you had Alexandria Horseface Cortez, who decided she would go to Montgomery, Alabama, and try to see if there was any momentum she could get for herself.
I'm so grateful to be here in this moment and in this fight alongside each and every one of you, shoulder to shoulder, as we fight to continue the legacy and expand upon that.
And I'm sure that you notice that they keep using that word legacy over and over again. They keep using the word legacy. They're not even trying to hide what this is about. This is a hijacking. This heifer who was smiling and showing all of her horse teeth when she said that having African ancestry didn't make her black.
I am the descendant of African slaves. I am a descendant of indigenous peoples. I'm a descendant of Spanish colonizers. I am a descendant of all sorts of folks. That doesn't mean I'm black. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean I'm, native.
Now you notice that?
You know what's so funny? Maybe she was saying that around this time because that's what you FBA bozos was promoting. You know what's so funny? Y'all tell people they not black this whole time, and then now when people say that they not black, you say, aha, that's the proof. They was never black. They said they not black. How do you know she didn't hear y'all and then repeat what y'all said? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Inquiring minds want to know. How do you know that she didn't do that? But yeah, let's keep it going.
She made sure to point out that just because she has African ancestry, that doesn't mean I'm black. And she made sure to point out that she's not native either, whatever that means. But you notice that she wouldn't say, I'm not Spanish. Oh, she suddenly forgot about that. Oh, she's got some Spanish ancestry, but that doesn't make me Spanish, doesn't make me white. No, she wasn't about to say that. This heifer didn't even mention black people during any of her campaigns. When she was running for office, as far as she was concerned, black people, what black people are there in New York? She wouldn't even mention black people. She was unabashedly only for Hispanic interests, full stop. And when somebody asked her about reparations, she said, well, only if Latinos get some of it. This is the creep who was trying to low-key swing on the coattails of Bloody Sunday. She figured if she showed up a couple of months later on, she could have the benefits of trying to basically swing on the coattails of our history while at the same time saying, oh, no, I wasn't trying to exploit it. This is the idiot who was doing it. And that's one of the things that gets me about all this. All of these immigrant politicians who white power put in office, to the point that the Congressional Black Caucus is now majority immigrants. And these immigrants, they used to brag about the Ilhan Omars and the Jamal.
I don't know if that's true that is majority immigrant, but it might be now because a lot of the black districts got wiped out by Trump and the Republicans in the Supreme Court. So yeah, black immigrants might be the majority now, which will create what I said was going to happen when I said that if y'all keep pushing this way, black immigrants are going to have more power. They're going to have more power than Native Black Americans, more political power. And look, we get into that point because guess what? We talking about Somalis. Somalis have more political representation at the federal level than basically the whole Mississippi. All the black people in Mississippi. Mississippi, the blackest state in America. Mississippi is on its way to being the first majority black state in this country in modern times. And Somalis and Minnesota got more political power at the federal level than them. More political power than them, period. How did that happen? That happened because Trump won in 2016, which I was saying I wanted Trump to win. That happened because you gave racist Republicans so much power. And what did they use their power to do? Hurt black people, like everybody knew that they was going to do. So, yeah. When you speak on that issue, make sure you speak properly. Somalis got more political power than all the black people in Mississippi. A fact. But let's keep it going.
Or Osmonds and others and point to them and say, see, we have our people in positions of power. We don't just complain like you black Americans do. We got our people in positions of power. Yeah, see, we've got power. We're showing our power. And now the white supremacy is coming down on them. Where are their immigrant politicians at? Where's all of these people in positions of power at? They're helpless. That's where they are. All of this immigrant power vanished in a single instant. See, white supremacy showed its power. And these immigrant politicians, having only practiced how to get along with white supremacy and to repeat all of white supremacy's lines and to practice being divisive against us and bragging and boasting about themselves, now they're in a fight and they don't know what to do. And that's because they've never had to. They've always had us doing all the heavy lifting. That's what we did. We show what we brought to the table, and now we're leaving it for them to show what they've got, and it looks like they're empty-handed. And so what used to be a hallowed event has been turned into nothing more than a political whorehouse. They talk about legacy, but people like this Osmond character and those back of them, they don't know what that is. And exactly whose legacy are they claiming to be carrying forward? Because I, for one, can't think of any Somalians who were involved with Bloody Sunday back in the 60s or in the decades since. You know what these guys are doing? It reminds me of someone who goes to a car dealership. They're looking at the vehicles there, and then some guy walks up to them wearing a shirt and tie with an insincere smile. They say, "Nice car, isn't it?" Now, this guy then goes on to talk to the customer about interest rates, payment terms, maintenance agreements. The customer gives this guy their money only to find out this guy is not a car salesman. In fact, he doesn't even work at the dealership. In fact, not only does he not work at the dealership, he actually works at a rival car dealership across town who sells the kind of cars that you don't even want to drive. What these guys are doing is the ethno-political equivalent of that. This is what we've been saying, that people who just showed up yesterday would be trying to claim that they are somehow the inheritors of our page in history and the legitimacy that goes along with it, because that's what this is really about. They wouldn't be doing it for our benefit. They'd be doing it to accommodate the...
Oh my God. Like, why these people, they just babble. It's just babble after babble after babble. Shout out to Justin March in the building. Family, if Justin March gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Salute, Justin. Thank you for coming through like you always do. It's my first moderator right there. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all shouting him out, man. If he gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him, man. And make sure you keep it going. Make sure you keep it going. Yeah, let's keep this going. Hopefully we can get done with this.
Larger project of trying to silence us. by putting these tethers in front of the cameras who would claim that racism is over and reparations aren't needed. And they march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge just for a photo op. So they'll say, see, I marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Why, there's even video of it. And because of that, I am appointing myself to have the legitimacy that these FBAs claim to have. I am just taking their political and historical legitimacy for myself. And now I'm going to advocate for all these things that these guys weren't advocating for.
Oh, whose fault is that? That sound like FBA is weak to me. That a bunch of Somalis could come down there and just take over, or any group could come over there and just hijack the whole civil rights legacy and use it for what they want to use it for. Sound like y'all weak to me. Sound like y'all don't got no power to me. Sound like y'all losers to me. Like, that's what that sound like. Sound like a whole lot of crying because y'all weak. But let's keep this going.
That's what this is actually about. Putting tethers in front of the cameras, and then they can legitimately co-opt our moral legitimacy because that's what this is meant to achieve. Well, what I say is, if they want to have some sort of protest or demonstration, they need to go ahead and have their own march. See if anyone will recognize that as being important. They're trying to hijack our legacy when they need to be building their own. Because these are the same people who reminded Black Americans every day that we shouldn't be trying to claim any connection to Africa because we're not Africans. Why, Black Americans don't even know where in Africa their ancestors were abducted from. Remember that? They made it crystal clear that if we called ourselves imitating any aspect of Africa, be it African dress, African dance, or African music, why, that was illegitimate. And yet, here they
are. Oh, they sound like the Africans is the boss. They can tell you what you can and cannot do, and you can't tell them what they can and cannot do. Sound like the Africans is the boss. That sound like they the boss to me. Put a one in the comments if that don't sound like the Africans is the boss. Does that sound like the Africans is the boss? Where Africans can tell you what you can and cannot do, and you got to hold it down, and then they could come into your spot, and then they could do whatever they want in it for their own benefit. It sounds like the Africans is the boss. And you just crying about that. Oh, is your name T Majek? Because again, I just looked a little closer on my phone. Is that Majek? T Majek? Is that your name? Let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. Shout out to you though for sending for sending the 199 and what you sent earlier too. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I think it's the $9.99 you saw earlier. Yes, $9.99. So is it T Majek? Is it T Majek? Let me know. Oh, shout out to Ogo 316 in the building with the $199. Brother, is this the video you was talking about? Because you hit me on the Cash App. Is this the video you was talking about? Let me know. Is this the video you was talking about when you said about Professor Black Truth? Let me know. Let me know. Shout out to Ogo. Yes. Oh, you said this is it. Yes. Good, good, good. I'm happy I covered it, and I'm happy you in the building. Much appreciated for all the support, bro. Much appreciated. Yes. This sound like Black immigrants is the boss. Sound like Africans is the boss. Shout out to McNasty in the building. Shout out to the visionary in the building. Yes, it sounds like the Africans is the boss. Shout out to One Ready to Go in the building. Yes, the Africans is the boss now. The Africans is the boss. According to Professor Student White Lies, Africans are the boss. And yes, they are promoting division for a YouTube check. Because like I said before, the internet is skewed towards right-wing propaganda. So as long as you are speaking like a message that appeals to people who are like conservative and stuff like that, YouTube will push you all day. Social media in general will push you all day. They'll make it easier for you to be monetized. Everything. Everything. Oh, shout out to Milton Allen for coming through with the 10. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure y'all shout out Milton Allen. He came through with a 10, family. He got me one step closer to my goal. We only 8 away now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this going.
They are here imitating us, singing our songs, literally doing reenactments of our historical events, and literally laying claim to our legacy.
That sound like Africans is the boss, man. They came through. They took your dress. They took your symbols, your holidays, how you say holy days. They took all that. Now they speaking for you. It sounds like Africans is the boss. Let's continue to hear about how the Africans are the boss now. They the captains now. Shout out to the Somalis. Y'all the captains now. General. Y'all beyond captain. Y'all the general now.
And speaking of people desperately looking for a legacy, Yusuf Jackson, one of Messy Jesse's kids, was following in his father's footsteps, trying to get a photo op, so he was engaged in that stunt too.
Keep hope alive! Keep hope alive! Somebody! Somebody! Somebody!
I am a somebody. I don't rightly know who the hell I am, but I am somebody.
This is what these do-nothing bootlicks are all about. Black people have dumped them, so they're trying to reinvent themselves as spokespeople for abortion, illegal immigration, Somalians, everyone except us, because we dumped them. That's the reason why they love to use that phrase civil rights so much. Yeah, because it has nothing to do with black rights. As Dr.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Shout out to Justin Marsh for coming through with the 2. Much appreciated, bro. Helping me get one step closer to the goal. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for helping me get one step closer to the goal. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Crybaby. Now, look, now he about to attack the civil rights movement. Let's bring that back. Because you just played Dr. Khalid, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. You just played him mocking Jesse Jackson and the civil rights movement. So why are you claiming the civil rights movement? This is what I'm talking about. Y'all mock the civil rights movement, but then turn around and want to claim it. But yeah, let's bring that back.
Black people have dumped them, so they're trying to reinvent themselves as spokespeople for abortion, illegal immigration, Somalians, everyone except us, because we dumped them. That's the reason why they love to use that phrase civil rights so much. Yeah, because it has nothing to do with black rights. As Dr. Claude Anderson said, who the hell is civil? There's no such thing as civil rights. We're talking about black rights.
All right, then. So why are you claiming the civil rights movement? I'm happy you cleared that up. The civil rights movement is y'all not claiming it is bad, whatever the case may be. So cool. Keep that energy. See, this is what I'm talking about. They constantly contradict themselves. They speaking out of both sides of their mouth. 1 minute you was just claiming the civil rights movement as our legacy. We did this, and they trying to co-opt it. Now next minute it don't mean nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with us. What is civil rights? We doing black rights. Blah blah blah. We don't bang with the people who did it. Yada 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 yada. On and on and on. Shout out to Love for MGL for coming through with the 200 gems. Sunshine. Thank you. You just brighten up my day with them 200 gems. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all shouting everybody out who coming through supporting the stream, family. And make sure, again, you support the stream any way you can. Any way you can. Exactly. Chicken butt mouth. We listened to this video. This video is not even 15 minutes long, and he done contradicted himself. If somebody can't talk for 15 minutes without contradicting themselves, I don't even know how you could even listen to somebody like that or pay them any attention. Like, come on now. Chicken butt mouth. You already know. Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you. Salute to you. Hardcore contradictions. You are correct. Shout out to the hood mistress for coming through with the 2. Whole lot of ones, we a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. We about a third. We only got like a third way to go to hitting that goal. No, not even a third, a fourth. One more fourth, and we at the goal. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. You already know we ain't got nothing but tomatoes for this dude. Nothing but for tomatoes. But let's continue to hear him trash the civil rights movement and talk about how Somalis are the captain now.
All of this is blasphemous. This is a perversion and desecration of our history. And you have white Democrats who are the ringleaders of this circus. These are the people, the exact same people who have told us for generations that they're not Black Americans and that we don't have a culture. Well, then why are they trying to hijack our culture of struggle and protest then? For generations, they've said that they were told to stay away from us, and that's why they did it. But now they're trying to convince people that they are us. I don't get it. Whatever happened to Black Americans don't have any culture?
How are they trying to convince people that they are you by marching across that bridge, waving their own flags? I don't see them marching with the FBA flag. They marching with their flags, not the FBA flag, their flag. Like, come on now.
Whatever happened to they can't identify with Black Americans because their experience was just so different from ours? Whatever happened to racism doesn't exist because I got a job with the city, or we work harder than you Black Americans? We have a culture of resistance and protest, one that everyone's tried to copy, and you got these guys literally cosplaying as us. They're saying that they are us, that they are appointing themselves the inheritors of our legacy. People who up until this year were trashing us every chance they got. The only support they have are from corrupt and crumbling boule bootlicks, scumbag opportunists, and some civil rights retreads.
Exactly. I said that was going to happen too. I said the stuff y'all doing and y'all promoting is going to make Black immigrants a permanent upper class and make y'all a permanent bottom class. They're going to have all the power. They're going to have all the legitimacy. Because if y'all creating this binary that either is you standing with Tariq, Nasheed, or you standing with somebody like Ilhan Omar, I think I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Ilhan Omar, or you're standing with Jason Black, the woman beater, or you're standing with Yvette D. Clarke, people are going to choose them every time. Imagine somebody saying, all right, I could either stand with Governor Westmore, the first Black man to become governor of Maryland, the first Black person to become governor of Maryland, the highest ranking Black state official in America. There's only one Black governor, and that's him. And the governor is the highest ranking state official. I'm going to go against him to side with student white lies. Y'all making them the leaders. Y'all making people ride with them. Because who's going to ride? Because, again, you said civil rights retreads. Why would somebody who participated in the civil rights movement work with the new Black media over Somalis? Like, y'all creating that environment. It's us or them. All right, I'm going with them. Same thing with the quote-unquote boule, where he just basically mean educated Black people. Of course they're going to do it. Of course. If you're creating that type of binary, of course they're going to ride with the Black immigrants every time. Every time. Every time.
That's not much of a political coalition, and that's the reason why they don't have any traction. So no, neither the Edmund Pettus Bridge commemoration nor any other historical act and accomplishment of the FBA lineage should ever be infringed upon. Our struggle and the heroism that undergirded it is being hijacked by people who have called us every name in the book, who threw every insult they could at us and smiled while they were doing it. People who always made sure to tell us that we didn't have a culture and that they stay away from us because they're better than us. We're beneath them. Black Americans are discriminated against by the very people who called themselves invoking our history for their own ends on that bridge. The same Somalians out there are also the same ones who, when they go to the politicians in Minnesota or anywhere else and ask for something, they do it for their group alone. They never mention us. They only talk about themselves. And yet, times like this, here they are trying to do the whole, well, you see, it's about everyone. It's about everyone you see. What these guys did wasn't a demonstration. It was a display, and a foul one. And we're calling bogus on it. If somebody wants to go ahead and call themselves doing a demonstration, they can do it on their own merits. They can do it for the sake of their own lineage, because we have absolutely no stake in any of this stuff that's going on. And they're not going to be calling themselves invoking our history to cloak their own agenda. And if that stance just so happens to make someone feel some kind of way, instead of taking a march, I would recommend that they take a hike. Good day.
That was mad corny. That was mad corny. You can't make this up. This is the reason why people think you're a white man with a voice box. That was mad corny. Like, you really thought about that and said, let me say that. Like, it'd be one thing if you said it in the moment. You literally thought about that. Like, oh, I'm about to kill him with this one. I'm about to kill him with this one. Like, come on now. Total bozo. But I'm happy you cried and acknowledged that the Black immigrants got all the power. and you have none. I'm happy you acknowledge that y'all fell off. It's over. Shout out to everybody in the building. Matter of fact, is Nasheed for you in the building? Is Nasheed for you in the building? Is she in the building? I don't think she's in the building. But yeah, we're going to go to this. I have not watched this, family. Nasheed for you sent this to me. Shout out to the sister. She be doing some good work. This is about Oshay Duke Jackson. This is one of the receipts about him when he used to attack black people and celebrate their death at the hands of white supremacy. Remember, that's how Oshay got big. Oshay originally blew up by celebrating black death. That's how he got big, celebrating black death. Let's get into this. Again, we're watching this together. This is my first time watching this.
There's a new movement among black women who are being killed by the police. And because black women feel that they're not getting the exposure that they should, there is this movement now called Say Her Name. Pretty much trying to get black women some publicity about the police murders occurring amongst the sisterhood. This whole situation that you got going on with coin games is what I'd like to call the chickens coming home to roost. Because see, it was okay when it was black men getting shot by the police, but see now y'all getting shot by the police. And I think it's a fucking great job.
You see Oshay. That's another thing. For all you don't know, you know what? You see who he sound like, right? David Carroll. I think that's his name. David Carroll. He was another gender warring bozo on the internet. He passed away now. He's gone. But he was big at one time. And that's who Oshay was copying. Trying to sound like him, clapping like him, all that. Trying to sound like him. Oshay a total bozo. Total bozo. Shout out to the Black Merlin in the building coming through with the $4.99. Much appreciated, bro. Of course, it got the same loser energy as the incel, because the same way that they created the incel movement, they created the FBAs. It's the same template, same blueprint. That's why I told you. I said Tariq debates and talks and behaves like he's like a 2010s alt-writer. That's where he got it from. Yeah, so let's keep it going. Oshay the bozo. Let's keep this going. You already know. Another one, just like Black Voltron. Like I arrested him in poop. He's getting arrested in piss. No, David Carroll is a black guy. He's black. I'll probably show you who he is after this is over, if they didn't take down his channel. But here we go.
I think it's a great job. It's the best thing that's been happening in the black community. They smoking you bitches now. And the reason why that's a good thing, because you black women are the people who implanted into these young black boys that they should do whatever the fuck they want to do. This is how y'all think. This is the left-wing liberalism idea black women have. You've always had it. Now you really got it. But see, the difference is the white man is tired of your shit. This is what y'all thought. Y'all didn't know the chicken was coming home to roost. So let me say her name. It's called disrespect. That's what you black bitches preach. I got to curse a little bit. I need Don Calypso to get on the organ. I feel like preaching. And when I feel like preaching, I feel the spirit start.
Oh, yeah. Don Calypso. That dude is like Caribbean. That's why I said, like, back in the days, they loved the Caribbeans, bro. They love Caribbeans. They love Africans. They always big them up. They hated Native Black Americans, especially black women. especially black women.
Coming over me or want to start speaking in tongues, blah, 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 blah. You know how y'all do in the church. And see, the white man really started understanding that you black women ain't women like you used to be. Now you becoming a problem to him. So what he gonna do is he gonna start knocking your motherfucking heads off too. Don't matter how good you look. Because see, the white man is starting to get to the root of the problem. It's you black bitches. Your attitudes, your problems, your theories. See, you the ones teaching these people, these young men, to be stupid. And now these young men are not just a threat to niggas. They're a threat to the police now. Because see, it's like pit bull breeding. Back in the day, pit bull used to attack owners. They used to bite owners all the time. And what the white people started doing when the pit bulls started attacking them, they instantly shoot and kill them. And this needs to happen with y'all. And the best thing that happened for this little boy is his mama got shot. That's the best thing could happen to him. And he shines talking about, oh, our black queen is dead.
Nope. David Carroll trying to be him 100%. Even calling black people shines. I forgot about David Carroll. I'm happy Nasheed for you sent me this. I forgot. That's also a part of Oshay's origins. David Carroll. David Carroll. Shout out. Yeah, this is treasonous. Treasonous. Shout out to the Black Adam. Yeah, I couldn't stand him neither. I couldn't stand him neither. Shout out to Odomec in the building. Oh yeah, you walked into that old Oshay. This is that old Oshay, like 10 years ago. Shout out to Benevolent in the building. The guy talking is Oshay Duke Jackson. That's who's talking right now. Oshay Duke Jackson. That's who's talking. Oshay Dukes Jackson. Yes, he's an unhinged incel. Remember, the manosphere, the Negro manosphere, which he started, was a play on the white boy manosphere, where the white boys just hated on women in general. But the Negro manosphere just hated on black women specifically. That's it. They didn't even hate on women in general. No. I'm talking. No. I'm not. I don't mean shines like that, because remember, it's different type of people who use shine differently. The way he's using it is the racist way that white people used to use it, because shine used to be a racial slur to black people. And David Carroll was the main one who like introduced using that against black people on YouTube, and then that's against black people on YouTube, and that's when he started doing it. Yeah, he's talking about Corinne Gaines. He's talking about her. Yeah, we're going to try to make this viral. Family, you can help make this viral too. Again, like I said, I'm outside the algorithm. So make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. I'm for sure going to put this video up too. Like, I'm going to try to edit it tonight when I get off this and put this up. But it's going to be on the No Face Killer channel. Shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to the No Face Killer channel. I got to put it over there, because you know Oshay probably gonna try to flag it over here, and then I'm not gonna be able to go live, and you know. But yeah, we gonna make this go viral. We definitely clipping this, but let's keep it going.
And, oh, this is a police brutality. Shut your motherfucking ass up. It's called respect and authority. That bitch had no reason acting the way she did. Did you expect her to play tic-tac-toe with the bitch when she had a shotgun? The bitch was supposed to get shot. Nigga, be serious. And nobody's playing with you black motherfuckers, man. They're not. This is serious. You do what you are told to do. You disrespectful black bitches who think that you don't listen to nobody or no authority, white man putting you in your place. We can't put you in the place. We ain't shit. Can't tell you nothing. But the white man gonna tell you something. He give you the jobs. He give you your homes. He give you your Section 8. And you don't disrespect the white government, the white police officer, he's going to take your motherfucking ass out. You can't bite the hand that feeds you. See, we don't feed you as black men. You don't have to owe us nothing. You can talk to us as crazy as you want. But that white man not going to take your shit. He shouldn't take your shit because he made you. You survived because of him. So how are you going to disrespect your white dad? He's giving you corporations that you work at, everything. You mean to tell me you're going to tell your white daddy no?
Yeah, shout out to Nasheed for you for keeping that receipt. I had a bunch of old receipts from back then too. I don't know where they at now. Like I said, I lost one of my external hard drives. One of them don't even work no more. I'm gonna try to find a place to see if I can get that fixed. And I lost like 2 computers. Yeah, can't make this up. I told y'all, this is who Oshay and all these dudes really are. Y'all keep thinking like, oh, they like I'm being hyperbolic, or I'm being too hard on them. Oh, people can change. Nah, you don't understand. I don't even think he was in Poland when he made this video. I don't even think he was in Poland when he made this video. Because again, when he first started, I don't think he was in Poland. Because I remember, like, I think the first video I ever saw of Oshay, he was like sitting in a car with a dirty, dusty white beater. You already know we got them receipts over here too. Bold and understanding. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback for coming through with the 5. Exactly. That's exactly true. Exactly true. And they abusers. Remember, Jason Black got a bunch of cases, weird cases, when it comes to abusing black women. He got a bunch of cases. Make sure y'all shout out a pimp named Slickback for coming through with that 5. Yes, they did that same thing to me. I done ran through like 20 channels on YouTube. 12 to 20 channels of them just flagging me nonstop. Yes, chocolate lyrics. Oshay father is a crackhead. He is a crackhead. Make no mistake about that. He is a crackhead. Of course, the angry hoe did the same thing. They all did it. They all did it. They all did it. This is why they disappear from the internet for a little bit. They changed topics, they changed names, they delete a bunch of old videos so they could come back like they never did none of this. You gotta ask Oshay why he fled. Videos like this is probably why he fled America. Because, like I said, when I first saw Oshay around this time, I think he was still in America making these videos. Then he went to Poland. Like he did, he went to Poland after. Exactly. FBA's abusers. They abusers. Exactly. This is who Oshay is. Oh, somebody said they sent me a cash out. I'm about to go check that out right now. I didn't even know. Family, I'm sorry. I'm going to figure out how to make the cash app thing come up. Because now we got the gifts coming up. Well, now I can see the gifts when people send it. So now I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to find out so how I can see the cash apps too. Where they could come up without people having to do all this. But, oh, thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I don't know if you want me to say the amount or nothing like that. You just said thank you, bro. But thank you. Shout out to bro. And make sure y'all shouting bro out. He just hit me on the cash app. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you. Salute. Salute. Clap it up for you. Thank you. But yeah, this is ridiculous. Matter of fact, who I said I gotta go find David Carroll? I gotta find David Carroll. Here we go. Let me see if I can find David Carroll. I want to see if I can find. Let's see if his channel. He had 2 channels the last time I remember. Let's see if he's still up. Matter of fact, let me see this. Let me see. David Carroll. Let's see if he's still come up. Oh, he still come up. Look. Yeah, he had 2 channels. Can y'all see my screen? Am I coming in good? Yes, he had 2 channels right here. He had 2 channels. Let's check out the bigger one. Yeah, he definitely died. He definitely died. Let's look at this. Let's look at it. Look, oh look, another person who died. Is that Charlie Kirk right there? I think so. I don't know. This is one of the big homies. This was one of the, what they used to call him, the intellectual juggernaut. They used to call him like the intellectual juggernaut, I think. The intellectual juggernaut. Matter of fact, let me play some of these videos. Let me play a video so y'all can hear this. So y'all can hear his voice. So y'all know that I'm not making that up. So y'all could compare the voices so y'all know exactly who Oshay was trying to sound like.
You know, before I get into the meat of this video, there's a few things that I need to say up front that will, of course, serve as the intro to this masterpiece. And of course, you have seen the title. And seeing that this is indeed Black History Month, I thought I would take the time to address this talking point that I'm sure y'all all have heard on certain channels and certain chats, certain platforms, by certain individuals. And that is this Black man not building anything. Black man haven't built nothing. So I'm gonna take the time, since this is Black History Month, to dive into some history, and I'm gonna tell y'all what happened that will give you a foundation as to why we are where we are today.
They definitely wild, but y'all can hear it, right? Matter of fact, I should find another video where he more angry. Matter of fact, let me speed this up.
He ain't built nothing. So I thought, you know what? Let me analyze what happened as to why this is a fact. And to understand that, you have to understand the two major competing ideologies to move the race forward, which is one, W.E.B. Du Bois's Talented 10th, and Booker T. Washington's industrial education, or the concept of teaching Black people a skill. And what Booker T. Washington believed, and listen, had we followed Booker T. Washington's model and that Tuskegee Institute that he built, by the way, that is today now Tuskegee University, but by the way, the Black man ain't built nothing. But that's a subject for another video. But had we have followed his model, because what Booker T. Washington believed is that if you teach Black people a skill, give them a trade, let them work with their hands, they not only will have work, but with their skill, they can build the Black community. So Booker T. Washington sought out to create the Tuskegee. Look at that Tuskegee Institute.
Oh yeah, benevolent. Yeah, I remember. Like I said, I all of them. BGS, Igmore, all of them. Minister Jap, Hardcore Tito. We already mentioned the Angry Ho. All of them. Yes, I had to go back and forth with all of them. The visionary. This is David Carroll. Like, we just watched the video with Oshay talking. This is the dude he was trying to sound like. Like, this was one of the big homies. They used to call him the intellectual juggernaut. So a lot of them was trying to sound like him. You had the dude who liked trains, who used to try to sound like him. All that. That's this they big homie. This is how he made his videos, and that's how they made the videos too. Like, he was the first one to stop making videos doing a lot of cursing and stuff like that, because he used to get flagged like crazy too. Get flagged like crazy. Like, I think he had like an uncensored channel or something like that. Look.
They contacted me, were surprised. I mean, they were, as I read their comments, it was as if they were shocked that this was happening. And that really rubbed me the wrong way. And the reason why that rubbed me the wrong way is because I have to come back and I have to ask those brothers, haven't y'all been listening to me? Haven't I told y'all in video after video after video that I have produced? Haven't I told y'all that you are not allowed, under no set of circumstances, can you offer, no matter how fair and balanced that critique is? I told y'all this. I've said this in videos.
Matter of fact, I think I found the better one. This is an even older video right here. This is him talking right now. I think this is real old. So we're going to hear him. So you're going to really hear that Oshay. You're going to really hear how Oshay was trying to sound in this one. Yeah, let's keep it going.
A lot of Afro-Americans are seemingly disappointed with me over my take of the modern savagery of the American Negro. Some of them have become inflamed, enraged. Some of them have even questioned my ethnicity, my loyalty, intelligence, all of which I find to be extremely comical. Because there's nowhere in the annals of American history where you will find a group of people who have taken so much pride in being a social misfit and a buffoon, save it be the modern day Afro-American Negro. He has allowed himself to be pushed to the margins of American culture, not only by his social acts.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Phil Scott was also a fan of his. Everybody was a fan of his. He was like again, he was one of the big ones. They used to call him the what? Intellectual giant. And they used to call his videos masterpieces. Masterpieces. I'm gonna let him talk for like one more minute so they can really get into the understanding of who their big homie is.
The types of music he produces and listens to, but most certainly the types of clothes that he wears. A far cry from the young men and women of the 50s and the 60s, where they would dress in shirts and ties and the women would wear nice dresses, condemning this type of savagery. As a matter of fact, the Negro leadership condones it. They call it self-expression. They call it being yourself, and there's nothing wrong with it. But what these savages don't understand is that that type of behavior not only sets the race back, but it marginalizes the Negroes. Who in the right mind is going to hire an ape when he walks in to fill out a job application and half of his hair is combed? Who's going to take this Negro seriously when he walks in and his pants is hanging off his ass and the employer can see his underwear or his thong, in the case of most black men today? But that's another video. I mean, who in their right mind is going to take this guy serious?
That's also a thing. They used to disrespect black men all the time too. But a lot of these bozos would follow it, be like, yeah, I'm not that type of black man. Because this is when they was really pushing down that hard on that blacks versus niggers stuff. Like, we against black women and niggers.
When he's walking,
that's why they started pushing MGTOW, all that.
Around with tattoos all over his cowhide skin, looking like a complete and utter buffoon. You Negroes brought this on yourselves. You have no one to blame but yourselves. As again, I say, look in the mirror, black people. Because when you look in the mirror, what you're going to find is that the number one enemy of black people in 2012 is black people. You Negroes are reaping the harvest, the bitter harvest of years of intellectual neglect, spiritual barrenness, social buffoonery. And now today, those chickens have come home to roost. And you savages find yourselves in a cultural ditch.
Oh yeah, Quasi 100. That's who I was thinking of. Who was also one of his little homies. That's the dude who had the trains, right? His name was Quasi 100. This is worse than respectability politics. This is worse than that. Like, you can't make this up. Exactly. Fake Malcolm X. Yeah, let's keep this going real quick.
With no way out. Your Messy Jacksons and your Al Charlatans and your irrelevant NAACPs and the rest of these dead civil rights organizations have no solution. Why even your first Negro president has no solution for you. Because your problem is one of DNA, not of social reconstruction or social engineering. No, there is a flaw within you people. And I've been saying this for years. There is no other way that you can rationalize the behavior of American Negroes in 2012, lest you start from the premise that there is something biologically wrong with this race of people. That's harsh, but it's true. Consider this.
Why you said that? Why you say he wouldn't be MAGA? I think he would have been MAGA. Matter of fact, there might be some truth to that because he also talked about how conservatives was bad a little bit. Matter of fact, I think he would have been MAGA. He might have been MAGA for a super long time, but he still would have been MAGA. He probably would have been like Nick Fuentes. I'm not MAGA one minute, but I'm MAGA the next minute. Or I got my own thing going on, but I think they better than the Democrats. Yeah, that would have been him. Dollar Tree Malcolm, Timu X. Yes, this is one of their goats. Look at this bozo. This is one of their goats. I'm talking about he's one of the foundations of these bozos that you see on the internet, on YouTube. This is one of their big homies. Like, this is deep. This is like him, Sergeant Willie P, and Tommy Sotomayor. That's like their original. That's like the Trinity. That's like their Trinity. That's their Trinity. That's like Tommy. The reason why a bunch of these bozos even was giving themselves Spanish names, because Tommy is not Spanish. Yeah, Sergeant Willie P. Like, yeah, this is like we going like, yeah. You heard what he just said, right? 2012. I wasn't even watching YouTube in 2012. I don't even think I knew it existed.
If you were living in a housing development,
and you see how he said the Black American Negro, right? They used to harp down on Black people in America, and they used to big up like Black immigrants so much. I remember I read somebody wrote an article about it, about how a lot of these dudes talk so bad and talk so good about Black immigrants, they basically built a Black immigrant following. That's why it's so much confusion and chaos going on right now in Black YouTube with people like Tariq and all of them, because they used to all have a bunch of Black immigrants around them, and then they just did a 180 on them. Like you heard Oshay Calypso on the organ. You said Sergeant Willie P is FBA now? That tracks. That tracks. You might be right, because again, he loves trains, and he looked up to David Carroll like more than anybody else. Like even when the other people was copying David Carroll, and then they started moving on or trying to add to it, not him. He was straight David Carroll. I know he was hurt when he found out he passed away. I know he was hurt. He was hurt. But yeah, let's finish this up because we got to move on to other stuff. It's getting late.
And there were a rash of break-ins in this said development. And the culprits who were doing these break-ins were hoodies. You, as a black male who's intelligent, and you're going out to the store to get you some Skittles and a tea, and you have intelligence now, knowing that the rash of break-ins.
Look, again, this is him about to justify Trayvon Martin being killed. I'm happy we watched it to this point. Let's do it.
Were being done by guys wearing hoodies. What rational, intelligent, law-abiding black man would don a hoodie and walk down that same development? Only the Afro-American Negro in 2012. Why? He is completely and utterly dysfunctional and anti-intellectual. I know y'all don't like it, but I got to tell you the truth.
Y'all saw it. I didn't make that up. This is they big homie. Look at the face. This is the big homie. This is they big homie. This is they dude. This is they dude right here. One of they big dogs. I heard Corey Holcomb is the FBA now too. Just the same, because you know his money running low. That's why he had to bow down to Vlad and go on Vlad's show. Now he FBA. Yeah, it's about a bag. Yeah, let's keep this going. Shout out to everybody in the building. I don't have no idea how he passed away, but yeah. Oh, dang, it gets late. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. I wanted to touch on this. I keep missing to show this, but I want to touch on this other bozo. Since we talking about a blast from the past, let's deal with this bozo. This is B. Miles. He's now grifting the FBA. Another person, another FBA grifter. Another FBA grifter. Let's get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get into this other FBA grifter. Let's see what he got to say.
Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B. Miles coming to you live once again.
All that fake jewelry.
Again, with another video from the B. Miles 84 Conscious channel. I actually want to come to y'all with another video, man, talking about how immigrants that are always fleeing their country but never want to go back are nothing but a bunch of damn cowards, and you deserve no respect. And the reason why I'm coming to y'all with this video, man, is because I'm really sick and tired of immigrants that are always fleeing their countries. Then they want to come over to this country and they want to brag about how great their country is, but they always live in their country in droves. But I'm going to tell you, to all of you immigrants out there who want to be like that, you can kiss my ass, kick rocks, and you can go to hell. Why? Because to me, you a bunch of damn cowards and you don't deserve any respect. You want to know why? Because for you to come over here from another country, then you want to be bragging about your country, then you want to turn this one into the one that you left, right? What gives you the damn right to go to another country that you did not build, you're not from, you weren't even birthed there, you did not fight or bleed or die for this country? And then you want to be coming to this country, you want to be bragging about how great your country is, how great the culture is, but yet you always want to be running from it.
Like, you can't make this up, bro. Again, straight hate. This is what they preach. This is what they preach. This is what they preach. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all supporting the stream any way you can. Like, where did this come from? Just a bunch of FBA nonsense. Oh, you fleeting drones. You doing this. You're doing that. Like, what? Yeah, I don't have none of this energy for nobody else. If you notice, this is just about black immigrants. This ain't about no Chinese immigrants, no Korean immigrants, no Japanese immigrants, no Indian immigrants. Pakistani immigrants, Afghani immigrants, none of that. Like, you can't make this up. Like, he got to do something with these bike chains on.
Every time I turn around, the immigrants that are always talking about how great the country is, they always running over here. But yet at the same time, then you want to come over here, wave the flag of your country, have your flags in your bios, but when it's time for you to go back, you are scared as hell. Why don't you want to go back? You want to come over here, over there in my country. Oh, my country, it would do this. We got customs in my country. We don't do this in our country. So what? Who gives a damn? If you love your country so much, why don't you go back? Why you always fleeing your country? A lot of immigrants always doing that, especially a lot of black immigrants. That's one of the main things that get on my nerves.
Oh my God. See, again, man, just talking about black immigrants all day. And again, y'all say y'all love the South so much. Why y'all fled the South? And y'all be going back and forth sometime, but why don't y'all live there? Why y'all in the North with the racist white people? Why don't y'all go back to y'all homeland back down South? Inquiring minds want to know. Go back to the South. Oh, shout out to the visionary. He came through. He read my mind. He read my mind. Exactly. No smoke for the other races. No smoke. Even when they want to pretend like they talking about all immigrants, they make it their business to drill down, pause, on black immigrants. They don't know that, and they're not gonna speak on that. Even if they knew it, they're not gonna speak on it. They're gonna just say, "Well, you shouldn't have fled. You should have fought like we fought," even though they never had to fight. They never had to fight the U.S. military like that. Thank you for the fire emojis. Exactly. They got to get their lick back, bro. They got to stop with all this talking about what other people did and didn't do and all this other stuff. Get your lick back. I don't want to hear none of this. Exactly, Prince. Exactly. Fleeing is fleeing. I know you said David Carroll is your GOAT, but and so that means you're stupid, but fleeing is fleeing. I'm sorry, bro, but dude. Fleeing is fleeing. Matter of fact, I don't think you said David Carroll is your GOAT. I don't know. Matter of fact, I might have misread this. Let's continue on. That's why I'll deal with you later. I'll go read the comments later to figure out what you want.
Is when a lot of you black immigrants that want to be running over here from your daggone country that is not built up like this one. You don't got the access that we have over here in this country that you have in your own country. But yet you always want to be talking about, I got a country to go back to. I got one to go back to. I'm the one I can't be deported from. What are you saying? What are you saying? Listen, y'all are cowards. Y'all some bitch ass cowards. Y'all are suckers and you get no respect. Why? Because you always fleeing. Like I saw one girl was like, oh,
again, why are you fleeing? And again, you styling on the white man's dollar, talking about, oh, just think y'all country ain't built up like this country. Styling on the white man's dollar. You can't make this up. Styling on the white man's dollar.
you guys don't really know nothing about fleeing. You don't know nothing. You guys don't know about dealing with hardship. You don't know about fleeing. You're goddamn right we don't. Because we stand here 10 toes down and we fight. We fight for ours. We don't flee. You don't see us black Americans fleeing in drones going to another country to find a new life. You don't see us running to the Caribbean to find a new life.
Yes, we did. And in fact, the reason why black people don't get to quote unquote flee America like that no more because the U.S. government stopped people from fleeing. They stopped y'all. They said y'all could flee to other parts of the country, but y'all can't leave the country. You do know that, right? You do know the biggest movement in Black American history was the Back to Africa movement, right? I should even call it the Back to Africa era. That it was bigger than every other era, every other movement combined. And it didn't work out the way we wanted it to work out because of the racist government stopping black people from leaving and going back to Africa. So what are you talking about? And again, Do we got to show the picture again of people fleeing to the north? Do we got to show that picture again? That's fleeing. If you go back and read contemporary sources about that, they refer to the black people who left those areas as refugees. They got chased out. Chased out is chased out. Whether you go across the street or across the country or out the country. Chased out is chased out. Anytime you got to leave for your own safety, you've been chased out. But yeah, let's keep it going.
You don't see us running into Latin America trying to find a better life. You don't see us running into Africa trying to find a better life. No, we don't need to do that. Why? Because we already did fought and bled and died, and to have this over here, unlike y'all immigrants.
No, you didn't. Matter of fact, I gotta do a whole video about this. I got to do a whole video about this. Talking about people fought and died and all this other stuff. I gotta do a whole video about this. This is nonsense. You gotta stop the cap, man. They got to stop the cap. Y'all making it seem like y'all bullied the white man into like being decent with y'all. Y'all gotta stop this. But anyway, let's keep it going. And a lot of times people ain't have no choice but to fight for America. Remember, America had a draft. Black people was getting drafted into like World War II and all these other drafts. When you ain't have, all these other wars. You ain't have no rights, but the white man made you go fight in his wars and made you pay taxes. What are you talking about?
Y'all are cowards. You scared as hell. You don't you scared as hell. You don't fight up against your government. You don't fight for your rights and none of that stuff. You don't do none of that. You just
When have black people fought the American government? Never. See, even according to y'all logic, because when I used to say, yeah, black people fought for their rights, and y'all used to tell me, I don't know what I'm talking about. Civil rights movement ain't fighting. How was it fighting to go beg the white man for rights? And so according to y'all logic, y'all never fought. What fighting? What war that black people ever waged against the U.S. government to make the U.S. government do anything that they didn't want to do for black people? Inquiring minds want to know. And tell me, what did they do that was actually only for black people? Nothing. That's another thing y'all always cry about, right? What you call it? What's they called? The Reconstruction Amendments, not only for black people. The civil rights victories, not only for black people. So what did y'all fight the U.S. government for to get them to give y'all rights only, that y'all only got? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Shout out to the boogeyman in the building. Like, I want to know.
go ahead and put your head down and just, that's just the way it is. But when it come down to y'all are really showing us a hell of a lot of cowardice. Why? Because you never want to put in the fight. But then you want to come over here and talk about, we work so hard over here. We do so better over here. Why can't you work hard in your own country? Why can't you work hard in your own country that you were from? That you got a country to go back to. Why can't you do that? Why aren't you so hardworking in your own country? Which furthermore lets me know you're lazy.
On top of that, you know how easy it is to flip this logic? Why are you not so hardworking in your communities? Why a black person can't get $5 over lunch money without moving to a white neighborhood? Why they not building up the black neighborhood? Everybody else got their neighborhoods built up. I'm watching Mexicans have their neighborhoods built up. I'm watching Koreans have their neighborhoods built up. I'm watching Indians have their neighborhoods built up. I'm watching Chinese people have their neighborhoods built up. I'm watching other groups of white people have their neighborhoods built up. Greek town, German town. I'm watching this. I'm watching people build stuff up. Where's the black version of that? How come black people can't get no money, can't get like $5 over lunch money without moving to a white neighborhood? I'm waiting. Inquiring minds want to know. That sound like y'all lazy. That sound like y'all cowards. Because I don't want to hear about, we did have neighborhoods. The white man burnt them down. Okay, why you ain't build new ones? The white man burnt down Chinatown before. Like, why you ain't rebuild? Why you ain't stand on business? Why I didn't rebuild? And this time, like what Jason Black used to say, Oh, they had everything in Black Wall Street except the gun shop. Why y'all ain't rebuild and have a gun shop? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Why y'all didn't build this up? I don't want to hear nothing about the white man destroyed it. That's why we had to go move and whatever the case may be. That sounds like cowardice to me. Y'all should have stood and fight. Is how many of y'all?
You're punctified, you're scared as hell, and you're filled with cowardice. You're cowards. You get no respect. As a matter of fact, you don't deserve none. Because until you can go back to your own country that you come from and build it up into what it is over here, then I can respect you. But if you always fleeing in droves, I don't respect you. You flee in the droves, waving the flag of your country. I don't respect you. You a coward. You a sucker. You a bitch. You a lame. As an immigrant, you a coward, a sucker, a lame, and you a bitch. Because you don't stand 10 toes down in your own country, then you want to be coming over here to somebody else's country and running your mouth in this country that you did not build up? You ain't from here? Who are you? Who are you? Well, you're the same people that got the same colonizers in your country till this day, robbing you blind. So I don't want to hear nothing about that. You damn immigrants that come over here with.
So you don't still got Asians in the Black community robbing us, quote unquote, robbing us blind? You don't got Arabs in the community robbing us blind? Indians, white people, they in the Black community robbing us blind? Is it according to one of y'all big homies, Dr. Claude Anderson, the black dollar leaves the Black community without circulating? It just going to other communities? What's up with that? What's up with that? Inquiring minds want to know. Like, again, everything you saying can be directed right back at you. Everything. Not some things, everything.
That cowardice, shut the hell up. Because you ain't built not a damn thing in your country. And I'm going to be real. Trump is right. Y'all come from shitholes. I thought it was being racist, but Trump was.
So, but Trump also said that about the Black community in America. He said Baltimore's a shithole. And he said, everything in Baltimore is rats and roaches. He was talking about the Black community. So if Trump is right about these other countries, then he got to be right about the Black community too. He got to be right about the Black community too. So you co-signing that the Black community is shit. That's what you're doing right now. You are co-signing that. You are co-signing that. And another thing, you don't have a country. Somebody that got to be the new rule. Somebody without a country can't criticize people with a country. Like, I'm from New York, right? The majority of us take public transportation everywhere. But some of us do have cars. And they might be bad cars, not like hoopties. But I always was taught that, hey, the person riding the bus can't criticize the person in their car. No matter how bad the car is, that's their car. And I'm gonna hold true to that right now. Somebody without a country can't criticize other people with a country, no matter how bad it's going in their country. Can't do it. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. You trying to boss up on people from the bus stop. That's out.
That's right. Y'all come from shithole countries, and when we looking at them, they are terrible. So for you to come from a shithole to come to this one, you got a hell of a nerve. So until you go back with the skills you learned over here and build up your own, fight and bleed and die and build up your own, build up your infrastructure, build up your government, build up your own politicians, build up your own neighborhoods. If you can do that over here, you can do that over there where you from. So stop the cowardice, stop the bitching, and stop running your mouth. Because y'all, a lot of y'all immigrants, y'all some bitch-ass cowards. I ain't saying to the immigrants that want to come over here, they want to have a better life, and that is a good model citizen as an immigrant. I don't got a problem with that. That's not the problem. But when you want to come over here and run your mouth in this one, when you come from a shithole, that.
So look, you notice how he said he don't got a problem with all immigrants. That's his way to give the white immigrants a pass. So when people talk about, well, what about the white immigrants? We watch you go on this long-winded, nonsensical rant about immigrants and stuff like that. And we saw you focusing on black immigrants. But what about all the other immigrants? Are you gonna go in on them too? Nah, I ain't got a problem with all immigrants. I ain't got a problem with all of them. Yeah, tomatoes.
You did not build up. I don't want to hear nothing. Shut up. Because now a lot of your TPS status is literally up right about now, and you want to be bitching. So you love your country so much, you work so hard, go back and love your country and build it up. Okay? Peace.
Wait, time out. Somebody said David Carroll. I don't think he died of COVID. He did? I didn't know. Oh, he died of COVID? I did not know that. I never found out why he died. But I think he died before COVID. But I know I could be wrong. I think one of these YouTubers died because of COVID, but I don't think it was him. Shout out to Bold and Understanding for coming through with the 2. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns, family. We 3 away from the goal. Much appreciated. But now that we just watched that nonsense, I want to show y'all something. This is a receipt that I got on this bozo. Because he always loved running his mouth, and he's a certified grifter. He'll say anything to try to get clicks and views. Well, watch this, family. Watch this. Shout out to everybody in the building. We gonna watch this together. I'm gonna just let it play. This is how old the receipt is. You see the name. Let's go.
What's going on, family? It's your man B Miles coming to you live once again with another video from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. I definitely want to come to y'all with another video, man. I've been wanting to bring this video to y'all for quite some time, for real. I mean, I'm quite sure that you already know what it is, but I actually want to call this video right here, man. White women need to mind their damn business. And the reason why I'm definitely going to say that white women need to mind their damn business is because y'all are causing a lot of unnecessary things, you know what I'm saying, in particular towards the black community, because you putting a lot of our people in hurt, harm, and danger in harm's way by y'all keep calling the damn police on us. Every time I turn around, it's always one of y'all keep on calling the damn police. Every time I'm talking about we barbecue, you want to call the police. We up there selling water, you calling the police. We want to sell lemonade, you want to call the police. And not to mention recently, one of your damn Beckys actually followed this guy all the way to his goddamn hotel. I mean, I'm sorry, not his hotel place. This goddamn girl, this Caucasian woman, followed this man all the way to his place and tried to stop this man from literally entering into his own damn home. She was trying to pull some sort of Amber Geiger situation. And see, it is it is women like y'all who always want to be putting our men into harm's way. And y'all are some of the biggest progenitors of racism. Because I'm gonna say the ones who's calling the police is not even necessarily, you know what I mean, white males. It is white women. Because y'all, you know what I mean? It seemed like y'all want to be the same damn women for real who talk about you want to be voting against Donald Trump, and not to mention 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump. I don't understand y'all. It's like y'all really get.
Look, this is before. He talking against Donald Trump, calling white women out for supporting Donald Trump. But now you just heard him before saying, "Oh, Donald Trump is right. Donald Trump is right." You see how that go? And for all y'all who don't know what's going on, I'm on his Facebook group. I'm on his Facebook page, and I'm going through the profiles he's following and stuff. He talking about all this black white women, leave white women alone. Leave black women alone. White women, get out of here. But he got all these white women on his page. Look at this. All these white women
underneath my damn skin because you want to be calling the damn police. You feel what I'm saying? Because my thing is this though, right? If you really tired of looking at us, okay, how about this? How about you leave? We already on indigenous land. If y'all don't like it, how about y'all leave America?
Oh, look. Also, he was an indigenous bozo. Like, he just so much stuff. All these bozos. Look at this. Look at the white women he following.
I don't understand it, man. It's like y'all keep doing this all the damn time. You can't mind your damn business. Why won't y'all go back into your own damn communities, and why won't y'all focus on issues that is going on in white society? You understand where I'm coming from? White women, y'all need to mind your damn business. Focus on the damn feminist movement. As a matter of fact, focus on your own damn man. Wouldn't it be nice, white women, that you focus on your own damn man? Don't you know that they got a movement to counteract with your movement called MGTOW? Men go their own way, but y'all want to be focusing on us all the goddamn time. You want to be calling the you know what I'm saying? It's like you got so-called black men out here working, minding their damn business, and every time you want to call the police, we out here minding our damn business, and here the hell you go. I'm talking about you even do it. I'm talking about you do it from the lower level all the way to the top level. You calling the damn police on some damn body, but it's always one of us. Why can't you mind your damn business? It'd be real nice if white women learn to mind their damn business and you focus on your own damn problems. See, it's women like y'all, you know what I'm saying, who always want to see. It's women like y'all who put men in such a bad spot. And it's already bad enough. White women in particular, you know what I'm saying, put Bill Cosby behind bars. Not to say that any woman won't do that. Not to say that there is no other women in the world who don't do this, you know what I mean, who don't do the shit that y'all do. But right about now, white women, y'all need to mind your damn business. Y'all need to stay in your damn lane and stop calling the damn police on some damn body, in particular one of us. Because it's really becoming nerve-wracking. That y'all got nothing else better to do but call the police on innocent black men because y'all want to find a way for your little cop buddies to try to come over there and kill us and lock us up. For what? We mind our damn business. We barbecue, you call the police. We sell water, you call the police. We out here selling hot dogs, we call the police. We walking home, minding our damn business, you call the damn police. We going somewhere, you call the damn police. Mind your goddamn business, okay? So I had to come to y'all with this video, man. Shed thoughts up on this, shed light up on the situation. I felt the need of y'all to hear this subject. Keep on liking and subscribing to my channel. Always appreciate the love. And it's your man, B Miles, coming to you live once again from the B Miles 84 Conscious channel. One love once again. Peace.
As y'all heard, this bozo. All this leave black women alone. Leave black women alone. We indigenous. The white women a problem. Y'all support Trump. Y'all support Trump. Y'all support Trump. But look at all these white women on his thing. Look at all these white women on this thing. You can't make this up. Exactly. Oh, we indigenous. We on our own land. Another bozo. But yeah, let's get off this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Thanks to everybody who participated too. Let's I don't know. Maybe we could end it tonight. Or maybe we could do one more thing. I don't know. Let's see if we could do one more thing. Who knows? Let's see. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody rocking with me. Shout out. Dad. I thought Fahima. Shout out to Fahima. I thought she sent me something with Tariq. I don't know. Did she send me something with Tariq? She sent me something with Tariq. Matter of fact, I see this right here. Maybe we could go to this. Let's go to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go to this. Y'all see this? Tariq is attacking the Haitian again. We're gonna see what's going on. Tariq having a debate with a Haitian. Shout out to everybody in the building. We are 3 away from the goal, and we got about 15 minutes left. So help me hit that. So let's keep it going.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, brother, how are you doing, man?
I'm good.
What's
so
on your
I'm
mind?
Haitian, right?
You're Haitian. There you go.
Yeah, I think Trump's a fool.
Okay.
Yeah,
How y'all feel about
he's always talking crap, but Haitian got AIDS and all that. They ate dogs and all that. I'm Haitian. I ain't got AIDS. I don't know nobody in my family that got AIDS. I ain't never ate no dog or no cat in my life.
Okay,
I got a cat. My daughter got a cat in the house. I never think about eating them. So he's full of shit.
There you go. How long you been over here?
Right? You say you're a businessman, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. Do you hire any non-NBA in your business?
Your non-FBAs?
Yeah, like a Haitian, a Jamaican.
All the time. I do.
Okay.
I had a sister working at the museum. She was she's not working there now. She was Bahamian. She was working for a few months. I got the manager there is an FBA sister. I got a lot of people, man. I've had African caterers. One of my when I do events, one of my employees is a Filipino cat. So yeah, I hire a lot of people.
Okay, that's what's up. Because I'm a businessman myself.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to the visionary for coming through with the 199. Make sure y'all saluting the brother. He got me one step closer to the goal. We only 2 away now. Thank you. You said you've been watching my old videos. Thank you. Much appreciated. Make sure you drop a comment on them. If you watch it, drop a comment on it, so I know which videos you watch. Just drop a comment. Just be like here or fire emoji, something, and I'll know like, all right, you watch that. But shout out to the visionary for coming through with the 199. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. And Tariq talking about, oh, I hire all kind of people. You used to, but I don't know if you still do it now, especially with your xenophobia. Because remember, one of Tariq right-hand mans used to be Nigerian. I don't think he's cool with Tariq anymore. Like, you don't hear nothing about him no more. I forgot his name. I think his name was Olaf. He ain't banging with Tariq no more. Tariq only got his white mother-in-law and her people around him now. And also maybe some Latinos.
Plumber by trade, and all my people that work with me, my day laborers and people, my plumbers, they all FBAs, man. I don't discriminate with none of that shit.
Oh no, man. When I would go on the road, my right hand man, Ola, who's Nigerian, that's my road dog. So yeah, I don't.
Oh my God, I'm about to stop watching Tariq. I did not watch this video, and I already mentioned Olaf, and now he just mentioned it. I'm about to stop watching him. Like I'm gonna have to stop. I know him too good. I already know what he's gonna say before he say it, to the point where nobody would even believe that I didn't watch this ahead of time.
Don't have a problem with immigrants or people from immigrant backgrounds. I don't. But I don't let nobody come over here and disrespect us now. That ain't gonna happen.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Right. And Haitians, they have a tendency of talking a lot of shit that they have no business talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And especially like, this one cat talking about, what's the name of that guy that they said discovered Chicago?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. So this dude just called up here to glaze Tariq. So he can't call up here to glaze Tariq, but I can tell by the thumbnail, he's gonna disagree with Tariq, and Tariq is gonna throw all this glazing right back in his face. He's gonna throw all this glazing right back in his face. You already know he eats squirrels. Tariq eats squirrels. Tariq eat possums. He eat raccoons. He eat all that. Talking about some damn bushmeat. You eat all that. Shout out to the Black Merlin for the 199. Much appreciated. Yep, I'm becoming like Neo. This is getting scary. Because I don't even have to watch his videos anymore. I just know once I hear Tariq say certain things, I already could finish his sentence for him. It's crazy. Shout out to the Black Merlin. Make sure y'all saluting the Black Merlin. He got me one away from the goal. We only need one more and we hit the goal for tonight. But yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. This is crazy.
Disable.
I mean, that dude was not Haitian. His daddy was a white man.
Right.
To me, if you white, if your daddy white, you're not Haitian. Like them Arabs over there in Haiti, they're not Haitians.
Yeah.
So now you saying a Haitian didn't discover Chicago, which is crazy because I think Tariq was even going against him on that. Tariq was acknowledging a Haitian did discover Chicago, and then this dude said no, he didn't. And now Tariq is like, yeah, you're right. Oh, shout out to Justin Marsh for coming through with the 5. We hit the goal for tonight, family. Thank you. Make sure y'all shout out everybody who helped me hit this goal for tonight. Shout out everybody who contributed any way they could. Much appreciated to everybody. Much appreciated to everybody who supported me in any way you supported me, from the Cash App to the PayPal to the Venmo to the gifts to getting a membership. Remember, you could hit that join button and get your own membership, gifting memberships, super chat, super thanks, super everything. Shout out to all of y'all. Much appreciated. I gotta do this. Gotta salute everybody. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say that to the end. But yeah, everybody who helped hit the goal. Milton, Justin March, everybody who donated helped me hit this goal. We're gonna go over it in detail after this is over, but already know. Shout out to all of y'all. Much appreciated. Oh, shout out to Auto Mech for coming through with the 5 tonight for himself. I didn't even see that. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. But let's keep it going. Make sure y'all shout out everybody who donated.
White boys in Haiti running Haiti, really? They're not Haitian. I don't see them as Haitian.
Yeah. Yes,
you know.
My man. But anyway, man, but thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, bro.
All right.
Shout out to me, if you white, and if your daddy white, this one cat talking about, what's the name of that guy that they said discovered Chicago?
Yeah, Disable. Yeah, Disable.
I mean, that dude is not Haitian. His daddy was a white man.
Right.
Tariq was about to say yes, he was Haitian. So now this dude just gave Tariq new ammo. So when somebody say that, a Haitian discovered Chicago, they're gonna be like, Tariq gonna be like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, he didn't. But yeah, let's see what else going on.
And saying slick. All right, shout out to that brother. Yeah, I don't listen. Let's get something straight, because Tethers like to be like, "Well, you hate Africans and you hate Caribbeans." No, just because we don't let you come over lying and scamming and saying slick shit, that don't mean I hate nobody. I'm cool with everybody. Again, I do business with foreigners all the time. Most of the people that we have doing stuff with the museum and all that, most of them are FBA. But we've had some people, like we had a black Colombian dude, an old black man who was really Colombian, who did the carpet at the museum on our that leads to our patio. There's a black Colombian dude who did that. And I had some young FBA.
Wait, time out. Why you didn't just hire all FBAs? Let's get this straight. Tariq is using FBA money to hire non-FBAs. Tariq is using using FBA money to hire non-FBAs. So there wasn't no FBA who could have came and did that carpet? How much you paid to get that carpet done, Tariq? This is what I'm talking about before. With Tariq, you talking all this black stuff, but when it's time to hire people, he ain't hiring nobody quote unquote black. He ain't hiring nobody black. Remember when I called Tariq out and about him not having a black lawyer and stuff like that, and then he made up some lie about how he had to go in there and do a little coon dance and couldn't come with nobody black because he wanted to get the place? Remember he did that? I gotta be able to find that video. That's crazy. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Brothers who were electricians do some electrical work, and had a young FBA brother do some HVAC work. And we've had some, when we do events, we had assistants who were some sisters from the UK. Yes, we have everybody. I don't discriminate. No. I don't know. But we have a lot of FBAs working though. Yeah, we got a sister, if y'all been to the museum, that lovely sister who's up there, who's the manager up there now, Ali, FBA sister, her ass be on top of it. She's so on top of shit. She be on top of it. She runs everything flawlessly. She's phenomenal FBA sister. And at my office out here at King Flex.
I guess he's doing the Oshay now. Well, Oshay claimed that he somehow is not anti. Like Oshay tried to use the fact that he gives money and do business with Africans offline to justify the xenophobia he pushes online. I guess that's Tariq's new play. Oh, I got all these people I hire, I do business with in real life. So that offsets all the xenophobia and all the hatred I push on the internet. No, it don't work like that.
Entertainment. Naraya, that's my FBA sister. Phenomenal. She's been working with me for damn near a decade. So yeah, man, we hire folks, man. People have a great working relationship with me. You ain't never seen nobody complain with me. We pay everybody right. We do good business. Yep. Let me see. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's get those hands up, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have a lot of folks in here in the building. We got to do an event for the museum too, but I got to stay focused on the movie. We got to stay super focused on the movie Hidden Color 6 that's coming. All right.
Okay, let's see what he got to say about Hidden Color 6. Let's speed him up a little bit.
Let's get who is this? Who we got? Let's get Zahn. Mr. Zahn. What's up, Zahn? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Zahn.
What's up?
What's up, Zahn? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I just want to talk about.
Brother, are you in a tap dancing class?
Lunch is down the hallway.
Hold on, that
First
ain't
lunch
me.
is back.
Where that
Bear
coming from?
holes. Step up from the box.
That's you, brother. Ain't nobody else on here.
Reset, y'all.
Hold
The
on.
app challenge is next. Where
Brother,
you
what
at,
are you on?
17? Where you at, Gemini?
What the hell was that, bro? Come on, that wasn't him. That is you. The hell kind of noise is that? Damn, brother. Sound like you work at a laundromat. Sound like y'all hanging up clothes. What y'all doing? That ain't me. Yes, it is. Ain't nobody else up here. The hell, brother? He must have been listening to another live. What's up, Pony Boy? Pony Boy, that name sounds a little moist, by the way, Pony Boy. Pony Boy?
Tariq.
What's up, Pony Boy?
Say, man, bro, you know Pony Boy, man, off the movie The Outsiders, man. Pony Boy was the lit brother, man. There was a greaser, man. You know that movie, man. Had Stevie Wonder singing at the end of that movie. That's where I got that name from.
Oh,
I'm not a pony.
All right, Pony Boy. All right, what's on your mind, Pony Boy?
Hey, nothing. I accidentally hit the button, man. That's it. That's all it was, man. I was trying to tell you, but I ain't have my volume on.
All right. We got to get another name. I don't like Pony Boy. I just don't. I don't. Yeah, get another name. Man.
I got you, man.
All right, that sounds like some shit where you wearing some damn leather pants with the ass out, looking for some activity or some shit. I don't like that. I don't like calling no nigga Pony Boy. All right.
Why you even clicked his name for? I think you clicked his name because you thought he was one of those. I think you clicked his name because you thought he was one of those. But let's speed you up a little bit because it's getting late.
All right. I don't like it. I don't like the way that reverberates from my damn mouth. I don't like it. I ain't calling no nigga Pony Boy now. Change that. Find something else. Sound like he be just putting on a whole leather catsuit and a cowboy hat and some big boots and walk off in the bedroom. I'm just a bachelor looking for a partner, someone who knows how to ride. And just doing the most. Damn. It's Pony Boy. No, I don't give a damn movie that's from. Take that, change that, brother. Just put on some Daisy Dukes and some boots and be outside in the grass. Where the fans at? Where the brother? No, he's gonna be.
Because I've been watching you faithfully. You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Since I
love
was
it.
turned on to you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing this. And it's already after 12. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got to end this here. I don't know. I don't remember the video that Fahim was something with Tariq, and that Haitian dude just glazed Tariq for no reason, and Tariq just ended up violating him with this thumbnail. But anyway, we got to end this here. Shout out to everybody who came through. Family, you already know. Check the pin comment. One of the best ways to support the stream. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I take it all. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Also, make sure you subscribe to my other channels. If you can, the Night Owl will put the links in the chat. So you go subscribe to all my other channels. Also, make sure you support this stream any way you can. Any way you can. Thumbs up, all that. I take it all. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. But anyway, let's give our shout outs. Shout out to Romario for coming through with the 5 and setting it off. Shout out to Q Dawn for coming through with the Canadian 5. Shout out to Madison for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to McKinsley for coming through with the Canadian 2. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for coming through with the 199. I definitely going to check out that video too about the new PSYOP. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback for coming through with the 5. Shout out to pimp named Slickback again for coming through with another 5. Shout out to T. I think this is T-Mech. T-Mech. I think that's his name. I don't know. He left before I could ask him how to really pronounce it. T-Mech. Shout out to him for this, who this person is for coming through with the 9.99. Shout out to Romario for coming through with another 5. Shout out to Tina for coming through with 30 gems. Much appreciated. Shout out to Tina for coming through with 250 gems. Shout out to you, Tina, for doubling up with that. Shout out to Tamek for coming through with the 199 again. Shout out to Justin March, my first moderator, for gifting 5 memberships. 20 memberships. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Shout out to Ogo for coming through with the 199. Also, shout out to Ogo for sending the 350 on the Cash App. Much appreciated. Shout out to Milton Allen for coming through with the 10. Shout out to Justin March for coming through with the 2. Definitely helping me get closer to my goal. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to Love for MGL for coming through with 200 gems. Thank you, Sunshine. I like the sunshine. Yep. Shout out to the Hood Mistress for coming through with the 2. You already know, tomatoes. Shout out to the Black Merlin for coming through with the 499. Exactly. Incels. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback for coming through with the 5. That's all Jason Black ever did. Disrespect black women. You already know that. Shout out to this brother right here. I think his name is John. Yeah, he sent the Cash App. He didn't say whether he wanted me to say his name or not, so I'm just going to say John. He sent the Cash App. He didn't say the amount, but thank you for that, brother. Shout out to Bold and Understanding for coming through with the 2. Shout out to the Visionary for coming through with the 199. Shout out to the Black Merlin for coming through with the 199. He doubled up with that. Shout out to Justin March for sending the 5 that helped me hit the goal. And shout out to Auto Mac that put me one past the goal with the 5. Much appreciated. Family, shout out to everybody who came through tonight, who just dropped a comment, who just watched the stream, who hit the like button, who hit the reaction heart. All that is appreciated. Because like I said, all that you do is engagement. That's support. It helps get me back in the algorithm, which I am out of. When you do that, I get back into the algorithm. It forces me into the algorithm. So I appreciate all that. I appreciate all that. I appreciate it all. Hopefully I could come back early. I want to start like 6 tomorrow, or it's actually today because after 12 where I'm at. But who knows? I might be able to stream tomorrow early. I might not be able to stream early, or I might not be able to stream at all. We'll see, because I was supposed to get my kids. The mother said not right now. They're not feeling good, so maybe they'll be better by tomorrow. So I'll get them tomorrow. But yeah, shout out to everybody who came through. Much appreciated. Thank you all. And remember, subscribe to all my other channels. Let me put this in here. Let me put that in there. Because yeah. Good night, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you at. Thank you for the fire emoji. Dogtown Slick. I take it all. Thank you. I appreciate you. And on that note, family, peace.